Hello, hello. Good morning to you, viewers. Yet it's another beautiful Tuesday morning. This is Wake Up Nigeria. We're reaching you live from our Srtv studio here in London. My name is Princess Cassie, and I have with me on the show as usual.
Daddy Grace is here.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today, sir?
Good.
And we'll be having ABUJA joining us shortly. But before then, Daddy Chris, we have a lot of news coming on with this morning. So much actually coming in from Nigeria.
Yes.
And we saw that Diri won and actually head onto that seat. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also saw jubilation here and there. The Imo State is now.
Yeah, this Diri one, eh?
Yes, Diri.
Bayelsa.
Yes, Bayelsa. And so we have Diri, Uzodima, and Ododo.
Okay.
Yes, the three of them.
This
And
is there's Ododo, eh?
yes,
This is Ododo himself.
yes. So those are the three.
Young governors, eh?
Yes.
This is young. Okay. Kogi have the culture of producing young governors. That's okay.
Well, no, we started seeing that from the era of Yaya Bello now.
Yes.
Yes, since
And we
so
look
we
back to
invoke
young,
that,
yeah.
and we know that almost likely all of them that actually came. If you see the three of them, they are quite young. Now.
From
Dino,
yes.
Ododo, Ajaka, the three of them, they are quite young.
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations to them. We know our group people are actually going to to the court. It's a normal thing, like we always say.
Who's going to court again?
The LP candidate from Imo State, another party, said they were not, as far as they are concerned, there were no elections. So we await and see how that plays out. But anyway, there's go ahead.
I don't think it's rather odd. Actually, I mean, other people could contest, but that of Imo,
the margin was so much. I don't think. And then we also have a lot of issues coming in from Nigeria. We see that the naira scarcity is actually getting worse as we get closer to the Christmas period.
So there's naira scarcity again.
Yes, ATMs are actually dry ups, and people are now complaining. Even the farmers are demanding cash. They don't want your transfer. Apparently, they do not have bank's account. And so you don't expect one Oduma bringing her product from the farm to come and give you one bank. It's pay as you go. It's straight by barter. Actually, when you deal with farmers, there's nothing like give me transfer. These people are scared. What of if I don't get the money eventually? So these people, those are our mothers and fathers. There's somewhere under their wrapper they put their money, and they are not interested in the new cashless policy or whatever. And so this is actually affecting the grains farmers and food product as well. And then we also saw, there quite a lot. We saw that we know that labor issue and federal government is a major one. There's going to be a shutdown today across Nigeria, and it's going to be indefinite strike. We don't know when we're coming out of that. So you might just want to go and get yourself, a food stuff or something.
Really disheartening, I mean, that of the labor, what is their issue again?
Yes, labor, they said they are shutting down this the time Justice for Ajero, the NSC president that was brutalized.
Wait a minute. Is that why they're taking the country to come on now? There's a better way to protest.
Apparently the president did not speak on that issue.
Right.
And nobody is giving substantial details or evidence as to what happened that day. And the governor, it took the governors almost 1 week as well to come out to say they are going to look into it. I think that's where their grievances, the organized labor
is. If that is the only reason, I assume there should be other reasons, Princess. Otherwise, my question would be, if other citizens of the countries are brutalized, will labor go on strike?
That is the thing, but we have been seeing bandits.
They're killing,
killings.
I know that labor is not taking it up.
Yes.
Why are they taking it? This one serious. I'm against what they did over there. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I thought they have other good reason to go on strike. But from what we saw, what's the letter? I think these other people are going on strike too. It's not just labor. So are you saying that ASU is going on strike because of that? Because ASU is joining the queue.
Yes, ASU, Electricity Union, other unions have been called by, you know, um, the organized labor to go on the strike. And we have a memo here that says Academic Staff Union of Universities, and says that to all zonal coordinators and chairpersons, dear comrades, National Labour Congress NLC, Trade Union Congress TUC, nationwide strike action. A gentle reminder: the Nigerian Labour Congress is a joint National Executive Council (NEC) of NLC and TUC, directed all affiliate unions to commence withdrawal of services with effect from midnight today, 13th November 2023. So it commented even just that's today because it's midnight, and then as an affiliate of NLC, all members of our union are hereby directed to join this action of NLC to protect the interests of Nigerian workers and the leadership of the union. Zonal coordinators and the branch chairpersons should immediately mobilize our members to participate in the action. A people united cannot be defeated. Signed, Emmanuel Osodeke. You see, I think this is just a call for them to. We know that the ASU, like I said before, they've called on ASU and other unions to join on the strike, and then that is what we'll be seeing today. And we have Mary already. Mary, good morning.
Good morning. How are you people doing today? How is London?
Fine. How are you today?
Fine.
Okay, so what's going on in Abuja? We hear that there's going to be a major strike today, a total shutdown from NLC and other affiliate unions as well. So how's the city like this morning?
The city is actually the way it used to be. I don't know if it's still going to hold because if you ask me, everywhere is actually blocked. Everywhere is blocked.
So the normal traffic money jam is still there.
It's still there. So I don't know if it's still going to hold today because if it's what I saw this morning, everywhere is still blocked. Everywhere is still busy. So there's nothing like strike actually for now.
Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe by 12 midday today we're going to see the effect of that strike, because labor is actually adamant. They are not taking no for an answer, even though the federal government is alleging that they are breaching, they are disobeying the court's order, but they are insisting that they will go on with the strike, and it's going to be indefinite strike. And so I don't know. And we also saw on the news this morning that the crease where Nigerians who went for Hajj in Saudi were deported, repatriated for reasons. Yes,
that's a strange one.
It's quite strange. MPs actually took them, and we know that 177 of them were actually returned immediately they got in there. They were not even allowed to go in. I don't know, for whatever reason, that their visas have been cancelled. I don't know
and
why.
These are able men.
Yes.
Looking at the pictures, these are not just kids.
And so we don't know. The federal government also said they are going to probe into that, but I don't know.
Federal government probe into that. They're going to challenge the authorities of the other government.
That was what they said.
The question is, oh God, I don't know. Well, who am I to say? When it comes to the issue of religion, one has to be really careful. Otherwise, why would we be spending our hard-earned money to move people, travel ourselves to Saudi, and now we're being deported, money spent, all that. I always say, if you guys go to Saudi next time, please try and take a look at how they make money there. Bring their Greek technology home. Bring their ways of living. You understand? They are cooperative. Bring them home so that we can grow wealth here. Not just go and pray to God and come back. That was only my issue. But to be deported is not... it's not one of those things I expect from the Saudi authorities.
And we have, International Day of Diabetes,
Diabetes?
something like that. Yes, and we know that That is the major thing that we all have been, a lot of people have been dealing with. Diabetes, the pandemic, the spike, the way it's on the rise, even on children, no longer just adults, but even very young people. And so I am to have a doctor, but I've been for some reasons I've been calling him since this morning. He has not picked. I think he's on night duty and he has
Yes.
not actually signed out, but he promised to be on the show this morning. So I don't know why he's not picking. But I really wanted to ask a few questions. Let's know why, we are seeing the spike. Is it the things we eat? What is it that we're not doing right? What is it that it's why is it becoming a norm in the society? Anyway, we move on quickly with the papers this morning, and we're going to start with the Punch newspaper, and these are some of the stories we have coming from the Punch. But before then, Daddy Chris, now there is this PDP. Just briefly, PDP be more, demand, what's it called? They are not happy with the outcome of the elections we're seeing from um, bias, rather Imo and Kogi, right? And meanwhile, they are happy with the one in bias. And so, what exactly is the problem? Is what we need to be asking. Is it that when other people, you know, win election, you feel like it's rigged, it was rigged, and when it's your own, everything is okay, we should move on quietly, it was free and fair?
Well,
I don't understand.
PDP. Well, in fact, which of the result are they contesting? That's the
Because
question.
PDP
We
is
know, you know, we
14.
always make noise. Forget about it.
Yes, PDP is 14 Kogi and Imo election. Why they are applauding Bayelsa? Because we have their member there.
Yeah.
So why is it so?
In fact, PDP ran election in Delta State. They did all they wanted. You understand? And so they, like I said, what I want to believe is they could be my process, and I don't want to even argue that. But the point is, for the governor of Imo State to have that margin, you can't. There's no case there. You understand? Because the margin is too much. The question is, where were you when all these things are happening? I mean, you're on the ground. Show us some videos. You see, this is the thing we went through with the last tribunal. There was no concrete thing for the court to argue. You can go to court and say, hey, election is rigged, whatever. But please, now that you have learned that they're going to ask you to go to court, why are you not taking record? Do you know?
Yes, how can you go to court without proof? That is the problem. At the end of the day, they will tell you APC owns the court. But the thing is, even if APC owns the court, what proof do you have as regards going to court? Can you say whatever you want to say?
But you know, I saw something
that's
with
good as not going to court.
Yes, I saw something with Dino on Dino was actually changing some figures that were manipulated. And the question is, if all these figures were manipulated at the polling unit, you understand? Because this one now, they said the figures were changed. That's what they have on the INEC rep. My question is, who changed it? Were you there? Because you have polling agents, you know, do they have a different result from what we see now? Because you can continue to make this noise, you understand? If these political parties want to run election, they should get themselves together as well. You understand? PDP of all people should better know that they need to be ready to deal with the menace, because APC is like a weapon right now. They're pushing it on everybody. So if you're gonna fight them, be ready. You know, if you cry wolf, if you tell now what are you gonna say? Oh, the Supreme Court is owned. The judges are owned by APC. But what as somebody with a little bit of a legal legal experience right now, no court will give you a judgment if you cannot provide evidence. You can speculate as much as you want. Like they always say, speculation is not evidence.
And I don't like the fact that when something is not in your favor, it's rigging, and is in your favor, you affirm it that is actually upright. I don't want.
I know. I wish they are still telling us that there's rigging in Bayelsa right now. That's
then
what
we know that. Okay, you have
yes. Was there no rigging in Bayelsa? That's the question I asked. Was there because there was where we had issues.
So let's say so far so good. They want to tell us that Bayelsa's election has been the most successful one, right?
Exactly.
problem.
So because you see what I'm saying, when you're on ground, I keep saying you can't go to my village and rig election. Where are you coming from? You know, because everybody in my village, they will have to agree first before you can rig that election. So I want to say that for Labour to win the next election, they're going to get that local support. And those local people will actually protect your vote. You see what happened in Benin, in Edo State back then. These people voted and they waited to defend their vote. You know, because nobody is stupid anymore. So if that thing cannot, if any political party is not ready to fight that battle, they should even run for election now. Because we know that APC is going to come with a weapon. You should be prepared to attack.
And we saw Uzodimma and the wife dancing beautifully. Like
is that well, Princess? You guys know how to call so beautifully, but we can take a look at that beautiful drama. I like the woman. We have copyright to this music because we what the government did with this one. How beautiful it is.
Yeah, let's also go to Bello actually, Bello was there was
this is the scene at Kogi.
Seeing that there are lots of jubilation coming in from Imo, Kogi, and of course in Bayelsa we know that Diri is actually jubilating as well, of course, with the PDP members. Congratulations to them. And now let's allow them to sit tight and work. Meanwhile, we'll go on quickly. I will be having somebody join us quickly. He's a radio presenter. He's going to be revealing some of these papers with us. Edowogo Lutu will be joining us very soon. And of course, maybe later we're going to be having a medical doctor because I'm trying to bring him later on the show to tell us more about diabetes and the things we need to do and not to do as well. And then we quickly move to the Punch paper. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Punch this morning. And the main headline here says, a strike. FG threatens Labour with contempt charge. NLC adamant. And the riders say nationwide strike indefinite. NLC boasts. FG Fumes says Labour disobeys court order. NLC TUC writes ASU electricity unions demand compliance, justice for Ajero. And all these stories are on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Governor polls, Tinubu lost INEC, PDP frauds Kogi Imo results. This story is on page 27 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says 20 die as Taraba boats on fishing expedition capsizes. And that story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here that says the Lagos drivers protest LASMA extortion. Commuters stranded. That story is on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. There's a story here that says why I rejected 114% pay rise for judges. That is coming from the president on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Saudi Arabia revokes Air Peace passengers' visas in Jeddah. And that story is on page 10 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government withdraws over 100,000 policemen from VIPs. And that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper.
Federal government,
Yes.
That's a good one.
I don't understand. Why do we have up to 100,000 policemen as VIPs?
Doing nothing in the country.
We don't have enough policemen on the street.
To
stand on the road.
It's sickening. You know, the last time I couldn't open my mouth. You go to the senator's home, you see minimum of 10 policemen, 15 policemen guiding one person. And
I
in the
don't know.
country, we don't have enough policemen. No policemen on the street to protect us. They say they are killing us on the road. We can't go on the road. People can't move anymore. Yeah, people, you have that number of police guiding one person. Why would they not withdraw them? Thank you. Well done. In fact, there should be no VIP policemen in the country.
I don't understand. They have money. They should go and hire thugs. It's not. It's not what they do.
In fact, there's room for security. There's security fine. Most of these policemen, when they retire these days, give job to the people. Let them hire security men. Train some big boys to do security for you. I don't have a problem with that. But to abuse the Nigerian police, it's an abuse. That's how I see it. An abuse of the system.
I think this is one of the sweetest news we've seen so far.
It's a good one. It's a good one. In fact, the next president will say there should be no, because if we are going on the street with no policemen and nobody is guiding us and we're being raped, murdered, kidnapped, and you are having all those number of policemen, you are raping the system.
Because I don't understand why we have 100,000. Do you know the numbers? These people could
That is small. That is small. You do know how many policemen actually, if the number, they said only 100,000 withdrawn. The question you should be asking yourself, how many of our policemen are actually deployed to do this kind of service?
It's quite sad. And then, well, congratulations to us as a people, because these ones will come and serve the public rather than serving individuals or carrying bags. The most annoying thing is that they carry bags.
Have you seen
they carry handbags.
Have you seen our president? They carry umbrella for them. If you see Obama and all these civilized countries, they carry their own bags. You understand? They carry their own bags.
I watched on the news the other day. What's that man? Is it Boris or what's his name that has the hair?
Oh, Boris Johnson.
You know, he came out from a tray and they were trying to like take the bag. He said, no, I'm going to carry my bag. And the bag is even a very big bag.
Yes.
The man had to start dragging his bag.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Himself.
But Boris, if I had to run to meet up a train, that is Boris Johnson. We don't abuse the system here. Does it make him not a big man? He's bigger than you. When he's talking, you are quiet. You know, you see the thing? Because he now have the respect of the people. When he's talking, people respect him here, and he's bigger than you. You that is carrying yourself as a fake African leader. I don't understand. You guys want to copy everything, and you only copy the wrong things. That's my pain. Africans they copy all the wrong things, and the good things we ignore. The good things we have in Africa, we ignore them. Since when do we try again, the last thing I was talking about the show, we enjoy slavery. That's how we sold our brothers as slaves. And today, like I say in Nigeria, today we are practicing slave trade on our own. This is an example of one slave trade. How can you employ a human being to serve another person in this manner?
And these are policemen that were actually recruited into the Nigerian police force. Not like, okay, it's another, external security outlet. This is something that belongs to the country.
You know the funny
body.
Princess, I bet. Look, even the Nigerian musicians, you now see them these days, they have policemen. If you go to America, what they have are the thugs.
Actors.
You understand? They are thugs. They call them thugs, you understand? Bodyguard. They are the ones that guide musicians and all that. They don't use the American police or the British police to guide themselves. Since when it's only Nigeria, then you see a uniform policeman.
Are you not seeing even Yahoo boys? Yahoo boys now move around with policemen to
really?
And all of that. Yes, that's what happens. They protect
God save us. Come, boys, the question I ask is, I have nothing against you if you want to have a security man. But come on, train your own. There are a lot of security boys out there. You know, you go to them now, they take care of you even better than Nigerian police. They should be allowed to carry arm anyway. If I don't know whatever is stopping them. But the policeman that's even going with you, that one can't even stop. They are not even well trained to handle chaos. They are not trained. They went to the police training for 3 months and they are out there to collect bribe. You know, that person cannot even protect you. That gun, he can't do anything with it. But if you hire a proper thug, you understand, they clear the way. You understand? Those are the people we need.
Look at Kiss Daniel's talk. I don't think anybody will see that guy and come close to Kiss Daniel. You want to just run away. When people see him, they start running. That is what they should do. And of course, that would be you employing somebody as well, not coming to come and take from the few security men we have. They are supposed to be safeguarding lives and properties.
No,
not being used by one politician or one.
Process, you said something. I don't know why we don't have a booming security industry. Nigerian problem is security, right? Why are we not
Yeah.
having a booming security industry? That is something people should be thinking of. You understand? Because if I'm in Nigeria right now, I'm going to think of having my own security guys, well trained, well paid. And if you want to be secured, we will protect you. You understand? That's something people, community should be thinking like that. But I'm not talking of individuals who have a lot of money, not to abuse the Nigerian police. It's a shame. And I think that practice should stop. This is a step in the right direction,
It is
honestly.
a good thing. We should applaud the federal government for actually withdrawing them from individuals.
Yes.
And then I saw a story here that is quite disturbing. That Saudi Arabia revokes air peace passengers visas, and we saw that they actually came back, to the country. They were deported immediately. 177 of them deported. I will want to see the details of this story.
In fact, it's undiplomatic. There must be a good reason. Otherwise, if Nigerian government will definitely need to, you see, this is the thing we're talking about. If Nigerian government will allow the young people that want to represent Nigeria outside to be maltreated in Turkey on their way back home, nothing happened. Nothing was said. You understand? I've heard a story. I was watching online how even in Ethiopia, how they putting Nigerians in prison. No government to talk for us. So at the end of the day, if this now happened to them at the high authority, maybe this will wake them up. I have no sympathy for these people. These are people with a lot of money. They always pay deaf ear to what happened to ordinary people. Today is your turn. You understand? This is a country you come from. Carrying a Nigerian passport today is now becoming a taboo. It's not. In fact, it's something that attracts gunshot to yourself. So if I carry the green passport, I know I'm going to be attacked. And that is what we've been going through. Seeing these guys going through it, we should be celebrating. We shouldn't even be thinking of it. We have nothing against the Saudi government. Me as a poor man, as somebody carrying Nigerian passport, I've been carrying it traveling out of the country for years. This is what we go through. When you are in Nigerians, you are nothing. You are immediately, if you carry the green passport, you are already a suspect. And now the government of Nigeria pretend not to know about this. Today, it's a good day. Now you know. One day our president will be deported before they will know. You see, there's no day you cannot. If I carry the British passport, I'm in Nigeria. Anything I do, British authority will say bring him back. I'm in Nigeria, no, I'm still a British. If I do something wrong, say bring him back to UK. We will deal with him. You don't have authority to deal with our persons. Look at how they treat Nigerians. People that spend their hard-earned money, Muslims that are going to no.
It's really sad, and I'm happy that the government said they will do something about it. So let's assume that
Do something.
yes, we should know why they were actually deported like
Yes, you're
that.
looking at that.
It's embarrassing.
How many of these issues are we dealing with? In fact, you hear cases of Nigerians that are trapped somewhere. You understand? What has our government ever done about it? And today they're going to tell us we should come and cry with them. Nah, it's up to them, man.
Anyway, there's a story here as well that actually, caught my
see.
attention. What do we do about, Lagos drivers protest last mile extortion, commuters stranded? There's something happening in Lagos. These people, once you don't give them, and let's not forget that yesterday something terrible happened in Lagos. Last mile officials were actually chasing a guy, and the guy had to run into, killing two people. Ladies, yes, yesterday and everywhere there was major chaos yesterday in Lagos, in Bagada or Bagadu, what do you call it? And so, what do we do about these last mile officials?
Princess, you said it all. You understand? Why would even last men be chasing people in that manner? You understand? In the Kotonu here, when the policeman, you know what they used to do? They blow whistle and you stop. See, when they blow the whistle, you know what? You stop. Because if you don't stop, they're going to take their time to make sure they get you. And when you are caught, you will face the true sanction. You will not get away by giving somebody some small money and get away. You see, this is the thing we're talking about. If the authorities in Nigeria want to earn their respect, they should stop collecting these cheap bribes. Nigerians will obey the law if and only if, when and only when they know that breaking the law attracts punishment, not some small bribe. Because if I slap a policeman in Nigeria today, I know I'm going to get away with it. All I need to do is give the boss some money, and then I can slap them. You understand?
Okay,
And
I think we
yeah,
have a duo with us already. If we can bring him in,
yeah, it's
that
already
will
in.
be nice.
It's in already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning to you.
You're
Good morning,
welcome.
Princess. All right, thank you so much.
Yes, but can you do us a favor? Can you put your phone on the landscape?
Oh, okay.
And then there's a story here also I really want us to talk on. But what do you think about LNC? You know, they wrote to ASU, they wrote to the electricity union demanding compliance, justice for Ajari, they said. So I'm actually communicating with one of the leaders now, and they said they are busy already. Warming up.
For the strike.
Yes,
And
I
the
don't
strike has
know.
started already. It commenced today, like midnight last night.
But
Your phone, you need to put it on rotate mode before you put it on the landscape.
Oh,
it'll be nice to hear from you guys in Nigeria. Yes, good.
Yes, I think
all
that
right.
that's okay.
Yeah. So if you just stabilize it, we'll be happy.
Okay, I think I'm here with you already.
All right, good. Yes, you are.
Okay, so
A
what's
bit
going on
down.
there, Edowago viewers? I have with me Olotu Edowago on the show. He is an on-air personality. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. From Nigeria, yeah, it's quite quiet. But as at last night or as at midnight, the strike has started in earnest, and there's been a lot of talk about the federal government not holding on to its side when it comes to agreements they had with the labor unions. So that's why the labor union has decided to go on strike this morning, and also the incident that happened in Imo State, where the NLC president was attacked by mobs, and the police said they put him on protective custody. But according to him, he was handed over by the police to the mob to be beaten, and he was hospitalized for a while. So today, they made the announcement since last week, that 14th of November, a nationwide strike will commence, and it has commenced already. We're still waiting to get more information on it. If there's going to be any nationwide protest matching out, or we're still waiting to get more information on that one from Nigeria.
My question is, so thanks for joining us. My question is, why are they? Why? Because the reason for the strike is what I didn't get. I assume, like you said correctly, because from what I was getting before, I thought it was just because the labor boss was beaten up, and from what you say now, they were earlier agreement that were not fulfilled. Is that why we are on this strike
Yes,
now?
yeah, that's part of the strike because NLC and the NSCTUC, which is the Trade Union Congress, and the federal government had some agreements based on the fuel subsidy removal and how they were going to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. And according to NSC, some of these agreements have not been met by the federal government, especially with the Ministry of Labor not really paying attention to labor itself and NSC and TUC. So they are going on strike to make sure that the government would carry out the agreement to cushion the effect because on a daily basis, prices of things in Nigeria are on the rise. And even
But
the
the
price
federal
of petroleum
government,
commodities.
but the federal government just added extra 35,000 naira to salaries to cushion
I
the
think
Fed. I like the word cushion. I
I
don't
think
like it.
I think that is the wage award is for a period of time.
Yes, but again, it's still on.
According to them,
Why are we going on strike when the wage award is still on? That's the thing I don't get.
the wage award is only one part of it. That's
Oh,
according to the NLC. There are
okay.
other policies and reforms the federal government has promised, but yet we're not seeing anything. According to NLC, that nothing is being done to cushion because 35,000 is only a small amount of money compared to the rate of inflation that we see every day in society. So, how many persons, apart from those working in the federal government or working with federal government, that gets this wage award? So, it's the larger amount of persons suffering in society, not just people working for the federal government. So, they're not fighting just for people working for the federal government, but they're fighting for the entire masses in Nigeria. That's what
That's my
NLC is
concern.
for.
That's my concern. I have some issues with labor right now. I'm a big supporter of labor I think Labour can change our narrative, but I'm a little bit worried. If Labour, they are going, you're not Labour, so I will not be attacking you directly, but I have questions that concerns me. Labour, as they, of course, they have the right to say, listen, they have to hold the government accountable for what it is. Like you rightly said, government of any country come up and say, we're paying 35% for those working for us. What about the rest? And for this effect, they took, this is a process. The fuel subsidy affects every single Nigerian.
Everybody.
You understand? Not only the people working in the different. Yeah. So why is Labour not actually insisting that what we want is maybe refinery or the price of fuel going down? Give us a plan that will bring the price of, if it's not immediately, let us see it happening in the next 2-3 months.
So that the benefit can actually
go
go
to
across every Nigerian,
now,
not just the
exactly.
workers alone.
The federal government was able to make up that thing, and then it's like everybody was, let me relax. You understand? I'm happy Labour is doing
it's part of what Labour is clamoring for at the moment. You say by December, refinery is going to work, Port Harcourt refinery is going to work. So we're waiting for that to happen. And the federal government has made some promises, dropping the cost of transportation, providing buses for the masses, providing CNG vehicles, where compressed natural gas. So all these are the parts of the things, or a part of things NLC is saying, you have made all these promises. When is it going to happen? We have not seen anything happen. And the inflation in the economy is not dropping at any moment. So what is the way forward? That's why
to kick off now. They said they had some little issues, and December is still not here. So I really want to understand, because my concern is if Labour is going on strike because one of their man is beaten up or one of the boss is beaten up, he's just one human being. Nigerians are beaten up. In fact, our mothers can't go to farm. Rape everywhere, kidnapping, we can't go on the street. If for one person they can go on strike, then we should be going on strike for Nigeria. That is what I want. My concern is they shouldn't go on strike. We should not go on strike because only one person is beaten up.
Labour said they will go on strike even before the president was beaten up.
Hold on. You know that Labour had wanted to go on strike in Imo and other cities just before that attack. Are we aware of this?
Yes.
And
they wanted to shut Imo down, not the nation.
No, not just Imo. They were.
It was part of it. The idea was, first of all, Imo. Then 14th, it will be the nation.
Yes.
Even before the Nigeria was beaten up.
And there were no allegation that Labour is trying to, disorganize people from voting. They're trying to cause chaos. And I think after that incident that happened, they didn't fit. Okay, let's wait till after the voting process, the election, and then we can come out to say this is what we want, right? And so I don't know what we actually fought in there. Even though I know sometimes this can be politically motivated.
Let me ask one question. You are broadcasters. If I say anybody is close to the press, it's going to be the Labour. All right? Labour have the press. Do we have regular press updates, like daily update from Labour? You understand? See, the federal government of Nigeria doesn't understand that. Do we have daily briefing from the Labour telling us what they are doing? Because one thing, we Nigerians cannot be carried along if you have from few newspapers. This is a country where now we have social media everywhere. So if Labour can do a little press briefing every day to tell us what is going on and what they're doing, perhaps we will understand them. Because this strike, some newspaper headlines, and we're going on strike, is disturbing. Because not all of us are aware. I'm talking as a Nigerian now. Talk about the local people, and you guys are closer to the press. In fact, there's no difference between Labour and the Nigerian press. So how come that they don't have that?
The Nigerian press is part of Labour.
Yes, good.
So that's it. So we expect more communication from Labour itself, but sometimes we don't get the everyday communication. But every now and then, press releases are done, press conferences are held to brief Nigerians on what's going on or what's the point where they are at the moment. A lot of times, what they just do is say the federal government has not agreed on probably the agendas or the agreement, the MOU they signed or agreed on, and for this reason, they are going on strike.
Yes.
So
perhaps what we really need, because they may have a good case, you understand, and maybe the communication is where I'm having a little bit of issue. Because if every Nigerians are carried along with this beautiful agenda, you understand, we are not talking about this. We want, you understand, make it clear. Because at the end of the day, some people think, oh, this is politically motivated. Christmas is around the corner. I saw one little post on, it's like this WhatsApp group. They said they put everything there. that the Christmas is around the corner. They're looking for something to cushion their effect. So I know it's not. I am because I am really angry with what happened to the labor boss in the state. But at least if they can let us know why we're going on strike, make it so it's something you sell. You don't before you do anything, you sell it. You understand? You're talking to a country. Only a few people
Let's
in the
not
ESCO cannot do
forget,
something.
sir.
You
Let's
have to
not
sell
forget,
it.
sir, that before that attack on the president, they were actually, headlines, press release here and there that they will be shutting down the country. And don't forget that the last meeting they had, okay, they said they had a meeting with the minister, and they concluded that we're giving you from this time to this time, and we'll still go on the strike if these demands are not met.
Good. I love this, Princess. You're saying this now. Labour is dealing with the federal government, all right? They're doing well. They're doing a good job, all right? I'm happy with that. But the question is, you need to sensitize Nigerians. You need to let us know what you're doing. Not me, not only you. You understand? The ordinary Nigerian. You see, people, this is an on-air personality. We should be here, the radio station will be talking about it. You understand? There should be, in fact, endless communication on this. Because when you do that, even the federal government will be uncomfortable. You go to federal government to negotiate, it's even not my way. I would prefer
But
to
the
use the
question
press.
should be: are you sure the organized labor they are even trying to engage the press in all this?
But they are part of labor.
They are,
He said it already.
we know that we are part of the organized labor, but sometimes, like I said, the last briefing they had was before that attack, and since then I'm not sure of any other briefings because I've been in talk with the heads of information.
See what I'm
at
saying?
ABUJA.
See, this is
No,
not
sir, I think this is coming from a place of anger where, after all, we've been talking, and after all that, we were still brutalized.
Yeah,
So,
and nothing is happening. So let us go ahead and do
let's
something.
just do what we. Even me, I'm of the opinion, sir, that you can't keep coming telling us that we are giving them ultimatum. No, do this once and for all, and so everybody, get that feel that okay, labor is actually up and
but
doing.
at the end of the day, what do you want to achieve with the strike?
You're trying to pass a message, and that's the
Good.
only way you
And
can
it's
hold
sometimes-
the government to
Thank
ransom.
you, Princess. Believe me, when the newspapers and if I don't know, Labour have all the weapon in the world. You understand? To inconvenience the government, which is the press. If the newspaper are shouting, telling us what the government is doing wrong, you see, you start by telling us what is wrong. What is wrong? We keep ringing it like a bell. If you ring that like Liberty Bell, everybody will buy into it. And then before in fact, the government, no, they will be begging you. Before you go on this strike now, the government is not shaking. They only accuse Labour for doing this or doing that they are breaking the law. No, we're not breaking the law because Nigerians will know they are not breaking the law. Right now, it's difficult for me to sell it. That because there's a beating of the Labour boss, now we're going on strike. That is the narrative on the headline. As
But
far
that's not the only narrative.
which is correct.
That's not the only narrative. It's part of it why they are going on strike because it feels like this has happened to the Labour boss and the federal government has not come out to make any statement, not come out to do any investigation. So it felt like it wasn't important, that this had happened to the Labour boss and nobody has said anything. So it's part of why Labour is going on strike. But it's not the only reason. It's not the major reason why Labour is going on strike. Labour is going on strike for inflation, to look for a solution when it comes to fuel subsidy removal, so Nigerians the effect can be achieved or can be cushioned when it comes to the effect of the general public itself. So all these are many reasons why Labour is going on strike.
Timing is important here. This thing has been going on. The issue of this subsidy has been there. We've been worried about it. In fact, I'm more than disturbed. I'm waiting. What is Labour doing? What is Labour doing? One would have expected that this strike would have taken place long ago because the federal government.
They made an attempt to strike, and they had a meeting with the federal government and came to an agreement. So now the federal government was given an ultimatum for a period of time to achieve certain goals, but as at this moment, nothing has been done. So that's why I think we're going on.
I have a question as regards this. Can you hear me? I have a question that regards this labor strike. Because the thing is, how effective is this strike we're talking about? Because if you ask me, if it's about ABUJA here, it's actually not showing because the road is so busy. Everything is happening as normal. Like as the normal life that we live here. So how it affects
Maybe,
Okay.
just maybe when your light go off this morning, you will begin to feel the impacts
What
of
is
the
that?
strike.
Light,
The light will soon go
Okay,
off.
okay.
light always go off. Light always go off anyway, so we're used to that.
Light
And,
always, yes, light always goes up. But this particular strike, for me, I would say the effect is not really felt. The first time they attempted on going on strike before the negotiations, everybody knew what was going on. But even this particular strike was not complicated, was not publicized.
honestly,
People
I've not
was
seen anything.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
I've gone out this morning. It feels normal. Everything's still working. So I will
Everything
find
is
out if the banks
normal.
are working.
The traffic
If the
today is
banks
even
are
huge.
working.
Yeah, so I'm happy. You see, that's why we said perhaps this is not well. This is coming out of anger. You understand? Out of the anger that
but
the labor
but
boss was
but
beating up.
but my point is this. I'm thinking that just maybe, you know, I remember that gone are the days of even during Ayuba Waba, we had, the energy. We saw that energy. But this Ajero, I'm beginning to think that Nigerians are now referring to them as the toothless Buddha, and I'm beginning to key into that. You know why? Because each time they want to go on strike and all unions, affiliates are warming up. Oh, let's shut down. This is the only way we can get it right. And the next thing they go into closed door meetings with the government, and the next thing they call off the strike. And this is what we'll see consistently for like 4 or 5 times. And I think that's why nobody's not taking them serious. Don't forget also that even before the strike, when they had after that brutalization, they had a strike before the election. A lot of the unions and workers, they didn't participate. They even had fallout among themselves because this they tied to you can't keep telling us let's shut down, we're going on strike, and the next thing you settle with government, you extend. I think at this point nobody's taking them serious.
Another challenge is the judicial system in Nigeria because the next thing, federal government will take NLC to the industrial court, and the court would create an injunction to restrict NLC from protesting or even going on strike. So after the incident with ASU, everybody is afraid to say, okay, let's not go on strike, and our salaries are not paid at the end of the day. So Nigerians are not really taking this strike seriously. They want to know. Because another thing is the judicial system backing the general public to say, okay, these are the rights they are crying for. These are the rights they are clamoring for. Let's allow them go on strike. Or the federal government is using the judicial system against the people, where injunctions are made to stop people from protesting or people from striking. So, which means, is the judiciary or is the court separate from the general masses? Are they not feeling the pain of what the people are feeling? That's another thing. So, and that's what people are also looking at to say, okay, now the court has said if NLC goes on strike, they are going against the law, which means there's an injunction to stop NLC from going on strike. That
And,
they are
and,
still on the
and,
negotiation table with the federal government.
that would be strange in the law. Any law that stop people from going on a
Strike.
legitimate strike. You understand? Again, you know why they're able to do this? You see, there is the judiciary, but there is the voice of the people. When I talk about sensitization of the people, it's so important that when we are aware, you'll be surprised what the social media is doing today with every human being making one or two comments. The place will be polluted. Federal government will be uncomfortable. Back in the days, only radio talking, people are uncomfortable. Today, social media talk, government panic. So, and if labor can just communicate more, you understand, and carry us along, and we buy into it, we have to buy it. It's working for us. They're working for us. So they need to find a way to let us buy into the story. So we begin to even help to carry the narrative. Right now, going on strike along with the government is not going to be anything. But if the public is angry, that the federal government has really taken up the subsidies, is killing us. We are dying on the road. Labor begins to let us know what our problems are and what the government can do and what they are not doing. Then people begin to say, yes, this is true. Now we're going on strike. If the federal government, if one court there say this is not is against the law, we're asking where is the law. In fact, I don't understand which law in Nigeria will say you cannot go on strike when you have issues. Understand?
Anyway, we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that would be the Daily Trust. And Mary will be taking that paper.
Okay, and here the big headline says Naira scarcity worsen as bank limits withdrawal. ATM run dry. And here another story says merchants groan as farmers insist on cash for grains. Cattle traders affected in north. POS operators lament. Middlemen get reward for attracting cash. And all this story you can find it on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have another headline that says bandits burnt farmers in Niger, impose levies, drop contact number. And now you can find that story on page 14 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have another story that says queues resurface in Abuja as petrol sells for 640 naira per litre. And here we have another story that says Tinubu's government inherited empty treasury. This is coming from NSE. And you can find that story on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have another headline that says over 30 fishermen killed in fresh Taraba boat mishap. You can find that story on page 7 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have another story that says conversion of petrol vehicles to CNG to cost 6 million naira. And this is coming from the federal government. And you can find that story on page 14 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have another story that says NLC TUC begins nationwide strike today over attack on Ajero. And here you can find that story on page 38 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have another story that says 177 deported as Saudi Arabia cancels visas of Air Peace passengers. Federal government orders probes. Hajj Omar tour operators kick. And you can find all the stories on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And these are all the stories you have this morning on the Daily Trust newspaper.
Mary, what's happening in Abuja? Are you able to get cash? But before then, hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Yes, welcome back from that quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria from Srtv Studio Live. Mary, what's happening in Abuja? Are you
Okay,
able to
like
get cash from the
for me, I'm using
ATM
POS.
machines?
I normally use POS, and the issue is coming from ATM. So me, I don't know how they are managing to get the money they are giving to us. So the small money that I used to withdraw is from POS.
How
So
is the charges like?
you said
How much did you withdraw and how much is the charge for
okay for now 5,000.
Not again. Is it the strike we're talking about?
I told you that they are going to start feeling the impact pretty soon.
Okay.
Anyway, let me go to Olotu here. Don't worry. How is it
Yes,
in
I'm here.
Warri? You're in Warri, right?
Yes, I'm in worry.
So how is it like? Are you able to get cash? Are we seeing queues in ATM? Or we are having dry ATMs like what we're seeing in most northern parts of the country?
For now, there's still cash in the ATM, but though most of us had rarely used the ATMs, we use the POS, which has still normal charges. 5,000 would go for 100 naira. So a lot of persons would prefer rather than taking transport to the bank, you can just use uh, the closest POS to you, which is the same thing as going to the bank or using transport. For now, the cash is still very much available here. But I'm just feeling like knowing that we have the December 31st deadline for the new Naira policy, and the festive period is also coming. Nigerians have a way of making things scarce, so it will make life difficult for persons, and so that we can increase the charges that we get. But the federal government has come out to say there's cash available, and there might be an extension. We're not clear yet on that one. There might be an extension on the deadline when it comes to the withdrawal of old naras when it comes to illegal as using as legal tender. For now, so there's still monies available here in Delta in Warri. Even this morning, I used the POS, and it was still very fair and fair. Nobody's complaining so much about cash around here.
Well, I'm quite worried because, like you said, this is we're very close to a major season, Christmas period, and we don't want to have issues of people, not able to access their cash. And we know that a lot of people do they do their savings, awaiting Christmas, to buy all that, and then now they are not able to have access to these monies. I don't think it would be a good thing. And let's not forget also that farmers insist on cash for grains because I don't want to believe that our mothers have bank accounts in the village.
No, but that's
Right,
another
right,
thing
right.
I want to socialization. We need to create more awareness when it comes to cashless policy. And it's not about for me. It's not about the masses or that old woman in the market. It's about the banks itself. Are they ready? For a period like this, where let's assume that cash is now not available, are the banks ready for cashless policies where bank transfers will not be stuck in the air, people losing their monies or having to wait for a long period of time for a transfer to go through or to get their cash back? So, if the banks are ready, if the banks are prepared, then Nigerians are also ready to move on from the cash to a cashless policy. For me, I really, really use cash. Whenever I go out, I just go with my ATM on my phone, and my first question is, do you take transfer or do you have a POS? I just do transfer, and it's easy for me. So we're creating more awareness on this, so people can know that you don't need to carry cash everywhere you go. But if there's a need for cash, government will also make sure that the cash is available for persons to use.
Well, like you said, I love the question. Are the banks ready? I don't want a situation where one old woman will go and farm for seasons, and the process of trying to get her money, her wages, something happens, and we hear story because I
Stories
think
about
our banks are not properly secured yet. That is why you have people, having you be in your house and somebody is withdrawing money from your account and the bank is not able to give account of it. And so I don't want these old people, they are vulnerable, they are farmers to go to that, because they will not have the strength to start dragging the banks like the young people we used to do. I know a young guy, my mother styler, you know him. He was at home and before he started getting alerts and he went to the bank. The guy had to pull off everything he was wearing and he lie down there. You people should just kill me because where will I go from here? And then but I don't think our parents will have the energy for that. So maybe when the banks are ready for online and cashless policy, we can now talk about that. But for now, I think the trade by exchange it's what it is for me.
Yes, your cash.
Yes,
We're still a developing nation. Nigeria is
yes.
still a developing nation, so we still deal with cash as much as we would like to go cashless, but we still deal with cash. And most of the petty traders, um, because of the amount of the amount we buy or we exchange for goods and services is still very minimal. So you're not going to the bank, you're buying something for 100 naira or 200 naira or even 500 naira, and you're paying via a transfer or a POS. So Nigerians still deal with cash because we still buy petty stuff, from the market and from places where we buy things from. So Nigerians still need cash, and the government should make as a point of contact that, especially this inside season, that monies are available for Nigerians to use, and that's what we're planning for. As journalists, we say that every now and then. We try to put as much awareness. We try to put it to the government and also to banks, so that they know that a period like this or a time like this, money should be made available for persons to use.
And then so the policy is quite good. You understand? Cashless is good. Again, boils down again to what you just said: communication. Understand? How do you communicate this to people? You understand? Government now need to work with the bank and with the press. A little jingle. We tell Nigerians. Nigerians know how to. We know how to use this pidgin English to ring a bell, and everybody will be singing it. But you are passing a message. You understand? These are things that you cannot achieve. A country like Nigeria, sometimes when they want to communicate with us, they give us in these things in English. Our lingua franca, I know, is pidgin English. Every Nigerian understands pidgin English. Put it that low, let everybody understand what you're saying so that there is need. You see now, do you know, Princess, that many of us are not aware that by December or there's a deadline for this for this money to go again. You know, you need to be telling us ahead.
But you know, also the government actually came to rebuff that it's still in use. But you know, Nigerians, when we hear something, we are not taking that one.
Yeah,
the first one was sticking to.
It's not even a problem if the government want to do it, but you should not be getting us on our way. Now tell us, let it be a daily thing you keep bringing down. By December, I'll change your money now. You understand? Let it be a thing we dance with. Change your money now, change your money now. You understand? Slowly, and the process should be now. You know, slowly you begin to withdraw it. And before you know, everybody will get used to it and will fit in. You know, will fit in. But the way it is going, it's like they jump on us. Like Labour has jumped on us today. The federal government is going to jump on us next month. It's like, what are they? There you are. I have an honest personality online today with him, and I'm happy to have him. He's happy to actually pass this message through his platform, and I think we are happy. Just give us a jingle. We will tell Nigerians as a point of duty. It's our duty to do that. You know, the government is not doing that. They don't communicate. Labour is not communicating. You know, I don't know why. Because the only reason you have Nigerians stiff, not responding to things, is when you don't communicate with them, and it's natural. People don't communicate, don't respond positively to anyone to do. I'm learning it from Tony Blair. Tony Blair said over his years in office, he has learned one thing: that before even bringing a new policy, he spent 3, 4, 5 months planning the communication strategy, so the message is passed on before you introduce the principle, the policy. So the people will accept it. But if you just push it on them, they will reject.
Anyway, moving forward, there is a very disturbing news this morning coming from Daily Trust that says bandits burn farms in Niger, impose levies, drop contact number. I'm worried. Kenneth.
Princess, this is not a case of unknown gunmen. These are unknown men. You know, if a bandit is gonna drop his number and tell you when
exactly.
Of course, that's your brother in the village. You know,
yes.
It's not someone that is carrying a gun that you know very well. You know, these bandits are not somewhere else. They're in Niger State. You know, if you read the story, these are not imported bandits, Princess. These are people from the community. These are people in the community. These are people carrying gun in the community.
For instance, Kenneth, I agree with you, but let's assume I know my community from Delta, right? I have been living there.
Okay.
And then somebody comes tomorrow among these people with a gun that I have to pay a certain amount. I should be able to say, guy, drop that gun, and we will like, or why? So why is it that these people are unknown faces, these bandits? I don't think they are known to these people.
But I said this thing before, that this is what they do. And sometimes they communicate directly to the king, maybe the king of a particular community or the councillor. And he was the kind of trying to oppose this. But this is what is happening. And it has been happening. Sometimes they won't put signboard. We are coming so deal. You put to do so for us. If you know, you go see them in the show.
Princess, you know what? You know I'm laughing. This is Nigerians praising crime. We are praising
if you
crime.
call it crime. Okay, now there's one that happened in Sabo. Say these people they came, they gave a notice that they are coming in like 3 days time. People were saying nothing, they have nothing. And these people came and they killed a lot of people. You understand? They killed and they destroyed people. And the next thing, they started living. They had to get a place. You understand? Around that place and settled there. So if you tell me that it's still now you understand? So why can't people just go get them and fish them?
Why can't you identify them since you're claiming that they are from your, they are the same people? So why is that? It's difficult for us to identify
nobody can do anything.
No
security can even go close to that place. They are still staying there.
Can we, maybe are you done? Can we look at the root
tell me that
process of this?
From that community.
Let me tell you, when I say these people from this community, that increase, I don't mean that it is categorically indigenous of this place. But the reason that they do this is because people from the community has given them the leeway to do this. Let me tell you, there was a time in the East we used to have a nini that was terrorizing up Iweka, up to Onitsha, and everywhere. You understand? And it was because the natives in the place had given him the leeway. He himself was not even from the community. You understand? But he had come in there and he had settled, and he was, of course, terrorizing. And people let him to be until the day the people said, "We are not going to do this with you anymore." He left. And in fact, he was burned with tires on. He said, "I don't support that kind of a barbaric judgment or jungle." But then what I'm saying is this: the people in Niger State, the kings, like you say, that will go and collect this money and give to these bandits, the king is the owner of the bandits. Let him come for me. The king that will go and collect money from the people in the community to go and pay ransom to a bandit is the owner, is the chief of the bandits.
But sometimes people are making
the question I asked, maybe I'm going to throw the question to the house and to our gentleman here. How can a kidnapper come to your village?
Thank you.
Identify the rich people. Somebody that come, we call it, the Hausa boys. They come from nowhere. They were able to know the big men in the area because they don't pick anyhow. They go and pick the wives. That's what happened in the world. They pick the wives of the big boys. You understand? And demand ransom. They didn't pick the poor ones. You understand? And it's somebody new. And it's a full animal that came to do that. Do you guys buy that narrative?
There's always an inside information when things like this happen. There's always an inside information. And even the federal government has come out to state that insecurity has become a big business in Nigeria. So most of these things are not just carried out by fluke. They are organized. They know what they're doing. They have a plan for it, and they have an insider feeding them with information before certain things are carried out. And if in some cases, I would believe it can be alleged, but even the security agents are also involved in this happening. And they have created fear in the hearts of certain people living in certain communities. So if you don't believe that security agents are backing you up and there's an insider giving out information and your life is at risk, fear would not allow you to communicate anything. There are a lot of communities in the north where terrorists are beginning to settle in, and the communities will not see anything, or persons living in the community, residents in the community will not see anything because of fear. So you are living there and you cry out and there's no response from the federal government or from security agents. If you continue to cry out, the next thing they are coming for you. So the next thing is for you to just keep short and live your life. So until the federal government decides, I believe they know what to do. When they decide, like my brother said, when the community from South East decided to say, okay, it's time for you to go, it was done. So when the federal government decides, or when the persons involved in this security issue decide to say enough is enough, then it will pack up. But for now, they are still cashing out from it, so nobody's ready to do anything about it.
We're talking about a situation where a bandit will drop a phone number.
A contact number.
A phone number. In the 21st century,
we have NIN to declare. We have technology to track.
Phone number for you and say, call me. So you pay
me. But what I am disappointed is, you see, in business, if you go to business school, they say identify a problem and provide solution to it. All right? Nigeria have a problem today. Our problem today is security. All right? I'm thinking that, supposing now, I set up a security force. I recruit young men, pay them well, and they make sure that before you enter my community, and I'm going to, you pay, and we protect the area. You understand? And people pay for security so that we can sleep well. Because now the government is not able, because we don't have light. We're not looking for electricity ourselves. We don't have this. Should Nigerians now begin to see that as a business? Because this business you're talking, business. Why don't we set up our own security firm and pay? Say, for instance, I remember in my house in Lagos, they would say we should pay for 5,000 every month, you understand? Because of the area. So just make it simple. If you now tell people to pay even to 2,000, so these boys are paid. When you go to bed, you know you are secure.
That's what they do in my estate in ABUJA. So we pay this levy for 12 months monthly. Mm-hmm. I can't remember how much I paid last, but I used to pay it once. I think it's about 2K or so. Okay. I'll be 1.5 for each flat, not the compound.
Yes.
So whether it is self-contained, just a household, yes, it's one room or a flat, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. And now because we have a major gate at my estate gate, And you'll be shocked that every Aboki, these security guys, they know everybody. And if somebody else goes out with my car, they won't allow you to go out. They will say, go and call her, or she will call us. She will come here and tell us for you to go with the car. And so most time, I just park my car. There was a day I was charging my phone in the car, and I didn't know that I had to turn off the, what's it called? And the battery went off. I was so worried. Because the glasses were down. I went to bed, and I came back the next morning. I called my estate guys. They just had to switch the battery, and they did something, and the car started again. And so the issue is this. I think when you begin to, this around these places now, this Aboki know, these security know that these people are actually paying our money, and so we have to do everything to make sure that they are fine.
Yes.
And because I told Mr. Mohammed, if anything happened to I don't to park in my compound because it's like this, it's slopey, so I have a phobia for that. So I told Mr. Mohammed that if anything happens to my car, that nothing will happen because practically even my landlord, everybody parks outside on the streets. And this is because we already have these guys. And funny enough, to be fair to them, they walk around in the night. They set fires everywhere around the estate. And most time when I'm going for morning mass, you still see them still there sitting there gisting with dogs and those things. And I think people should start doing that.
Yeah, if you're coming there, I say, where are you coming? Where are you coming
You can't even go in once it's 10 or 11.
You understand? So maybe we should do that as a business. Now you're organizing it in this local way. Maybe in Nigerian rich men, you have security firm, employ security men, begin to protect lives and property because the government has failed.
But what of those people at the village? Because they are the ones, the ones at the
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Because
that is why if there's a language called king, the king maybe in those days, I don't understand this. Who are you to enter Ugara farm and get away? We have a way of settling those matters. You understand? Are you saying that all those people are no more exist? Some of them are actually going to bed, waiting to be kidnapped. But these people are the people that are supposed to go out, get paid, and make sure our farms are secured. We're waiting for the government, and it doesn't make sense. Kenneth, you're going to tell me that the people are doing it. I understand that people perpetrating this crime are locals. Why are the locals not actually protecting themselves? Why waiting for policemen who cannot protect you? Why waiting for government who cannot protect you? Why are you people not protecting yourself? Buhari said it too. The first right of a human being is right to self-defense. Self-defense is your first right. Somebody want to kill you, kill the person.
Daddy Chris, you see, just like the guest on the show said, insecurity is a big business. Until we understand the reason why we are still battling Boko Haram in Sambisa Forest up to today, with an army of over 40,000 artillery, foot soldiers in Nigeria, we are still battling Boko Haram in Sambisa that is not even up to the capacity of 3 or 4 states in Nigeria up to today. There's still Boko Haram there. And Chris, whenever there's an attack in any state in Nigeria, you know what happens? The state governor will now put his hand in what he calls his security security allowance, the security vote. He will now contact the village king and release some little millions to him to mobilize security. So you see that these attacks happen because someone is going to benefit. Until we say it, nothing is going to happen. There are people benefiting whenever there's an attack in Nigeria. Who benefits? Even the military, the police, up to the village king, up to the local vigilante, they benefit because whenever something happens, that is when the government will now respond and start saying, hey, let's send some money to these people. Let's release some money to these people.
Mm-hmm. What I'm saying now is, you see, anytime government runs things, they couldn't run our hospitals, they couldn't run our schools. I'm even saying that we should take the schools from them. Communities should take schools and run the schools themselves. Because if private people are running good schools, and government cannot run school in your village,
it's a shame.
Tell the government to get out. If I am in my village right now, I will say to the local government chairman, if you cannot run this school, we're going to take over the school. We locals, we will make sure we will employ the teacher. The student will pay some money, but we'll have the best school. And people will start coming to the school.
The question is, when you say, I take the schools from the government, who is the government? The government is not just a few persons elected or appointed. A lot of times, is everybody in the government. The civil servants working for the local government, working for the federal government, working for the state government, are also part of the government. The sitting governor is not the person running the school or running the hospital. There are persons there. So when you also have security issues like this, there are also persons involved in this issue. We're talking about state policing or local vigilante. Even these local vigilantes, there are still bad eggs within them that will go and sell out information for persons to use because they want to make money. So unless we eradicate corruption completely out of our country, we'll still see pockets of all these things happening. We'll blame the government all the time.
Let me say this. I'm going to cut to that. If the vigilante you're talking about is still government run, because he said it's a community thing. If a private business, like Princess said, if a private businessman is doing it and he makes sure that you are paying him, he will make sure you people are secure because he knows his business is at stake. You understand? It's the same way you go with all these things. We talk about, no, it's government that run police, run schools. They're the one that pay teachers. We tell them, take your hands off this property. You cannot run the hospital, take your hands off it. The authority running the hospitals, you understand? We want to, the community have rights over these things, you understand? Before they build a hospital in your place, you have a little bit of right. So you can say, we're not taking it by force, but this is, since you are not being able to do this, listen guys, it's that I don't understand this. Private hospitals are successful. You even take your people to private hospital. They are one room. Some of them are just one building. But look at the whole beautiful structure failing. The same thing.
Private hospitals are successful because people are paying the bills for it. Not everybody can pay the bills for it.
Oh no,
that's why
this is what I'm saying now. I agree with you.
Some persons are also using it as a point of contact to say, okay, let us milk the government dry because a lot of these things
my guy, I hear you.
Are given.
You see, you said my language already. They are going there because people are paying and not everybody can afford it. But this is what will happen. If community run private hospitals, you know what? They will not charge what the private people are charging. But they will make sure you pay for the service you're getting. Because it is in the interest of the community. Is that because not everybody, we are robbing ourselves in the name of saying we allow government to run certain things. Because if a community come together and say we own this hospital and we pay the nurses, we pay the doctors, they treat us, and those who invest make some profit because it's not going to be free. So those who invest make some profit. In other words, what you will get, we argued this yesterday, what you will get is people doing business now. Not the private one. When you allow one man to do things, he makes profit, big profit. Dangote. You clap for Nigeria for Dangote. It's a shame. But if a corporation, you understand, people are allowed to buy shares and they make money. Every year you go and collect your own shares. So meaning I can invest in that structure and it is well run so I can make money. And the services will be better and fast cheaper. But if you allow me to do it, I'll dictate the price. The price I want to make money now.
You see, in the East, we have another dimension to this insecurity problem in Nigeria. It is a legalization issue. You talked about setting up security firms. Most times, setting them up is not the problem. The problem is how do you arm them? For instance, the security you have in your estate, most times you see that what they have is bow or some local, gun that just releases one bullet. We call it wampa on our side, the boy. You have to drop it, and you have armed robbers, you have bandits in the north who come with automatic rifles. Sometimes I used to agitate and I say, probably with the rate of madness in Nigeria when it comes to security, it has gotten to a point where we need to legalize guns. People should be able to have guns in Nigeria. Because if you come to my community, if I'm from Niger State and you have an AK-47 and you're terrorizing my bush and I have an AK-47, I don't see the difference between me and you. It determines on who can shoot better.
Say my language. Giving people gun may be dangerous.
You understand?
So giving those firms a recognized business, registered as a security firm, giving them the gun. You have the license gun given to them. They can protect people. But then they now have authority to use the gun. You understand? To protect people. And if there's anything go wrong, we hold them accountable. See, if you give it to private people, again, it's going to be way too high. But an organized firm, and don't forget, most of the security of these days in Nigeria, they're actually run by ex-police officers. You understand? You might have a requirement. There's one or two requirements to run that thing. So you'll be a JP, and not only you, 1, 2, 3 people come together and set up a firm because it's going to be money. When you retire from the police, retire from the army, that's a business for you. You understand? So you go and set it up and you protect us. Kenneth, it is going to be cheaper. You understand? It's going to be cheaper for us. At least we will sleep.
I'm even worried that the governor is not doing anything in let's even leave the federal government. Is the governor not supposed to do something that your state bandits are not giving contact number? That means they have trace. That means they can receive call.
Exactly.
That means these monies, these levies they are actually giving, imposing on people is being paid to somebody.
Princess, the money we give to ransom, who receives it?
No, that one, we
You
have.
drop it in the bush and you run.
Yes, you drop it somewhere and you go away.
And Princess, and we have helicopter. We have security upstairs to trace this.
Or you go through Gumi and how do you call the other one, Matawale also, and then they will not help you and go and give to the people.
You know, in fact, it should be in prison. What I'm saying is, if Nigeria is serious on doing this thing, they say drop the money, we drop it there.
And you run.
And no, you drop the money and you run. And then they release the people. We have something that can see them.
They will know that are they foolish people?
No, they will not wait. No, what I'm saying, in fact, since when the Americans know what is happening here now? You understand? If Nigeria want to know, they will know. Don't like the things of running security in that blind way. It's not going to work. We make sure these kids are terrorizing us. We make sure before we pay the money, we set this in there. So we follow them.
We are even
you can even insert a microchip
in the money.
One of the money.
That will be the one to follow them to wherever they go.
Kenneth used to say Zambisa. Kenneth, no longer Zambisa. We're talking about Niger farms here. Niger back here, close to you there. That is where they are now.
See?
They are there in Nasarawa, in Kefi. The other day, a student were kidnapped. They are there everywhere, around, even within ABUJA. And this is becoming more scary. I'm so scared. Anyway, the last news here before we move from Daily Trust says that Tinubu's government inherited empty treasury. And this is coming from NSA. Kenneth, your government, your own president says no money. Thank God it was your Baba that handed over
to your second Baba.
So I was never a fan of the first Baba in the first place. I was one of the most vocal critics. I have articles online where I criticize him, vocally, because while the man was a good man, he was the most. Permit me to use the word. He was a dollar in government. He never supervised the people he put in office. He just left them to do things at their will. Now we're seeing the NXA saying that Baba did not leave any money for Tinubu. Well, I'll be waiting for, of course, Baba's official spokesman to come and say something about it, because it's a very, very serious accusation, especially when it's coming from the NSA. The NSA is Nihu Ribadu, and I don't think he's a man that speaks, out for politics. Whatever he's saying, there must be concrete facts to back it up. Now, for me, on another scale, when he's saying there is no money, might not literally mean that there is no cash. Might mean that the debt, the humongous debt he left, cannot amount to say that there's any money. You understand? You're leaving 2 billion and you're owing 20 billion, so you did not leave any money. You understand? So for me, I won't say anything until I see an official response, or if the Ministry of Finance will not release an official record. And that's one thing I keep saying. I said the Freedom of Information Bill was passed for Nigerians to be able to access information. But you see that sometimes when you write, a dossier to the minister and say, please, can you give me a breakdown of all your expenditure and your income for 2021, 2022? What they will do is they will call you. I say, who are you, sir? Are you Mr. Kenneth? Who do you work for? Srtv. They'll drop the call. They'll call Daddy Chris. Hello, Daddy Chris, can you talk to one of your staff? He's asking for information that can jeopardize national security. That is it.
National security.
Legally. You understand? So until we begin to see the effect of freedom of information, if it's in the UK, if something like this comes on, average UK citizens will say, please give us a total breakdown of all the income and expenditure of this government. Let us know what happened to our money. But NSA would say, and then when you ask them to reply, the only thing you will see probably tomorrow now, Baba's official handlers will come and say, hey, it's a nonsense. We left $50 billion. We left 3 million naira. We left 2 billion in 5 Nigerian accounts. But I believe if NSA is saying this, then that is something that we need to ask so many more questions about.
I can actually wait for the ex-president to reply to this.
Kenneth said it all. Freedom of information. You understand? It is important for the press, for the country and even for the government. You understand? Because when we can, for instance, now I can ask people in my community, do you even know how much your local government chairman gets? No.
No, they don't.
You understand? You know how it's sad. This is our money. It's not his money. All right. He's using our money. He's working for us. And the money, as much as he's now a God, you create a God and you begin to serve God. No, the God we serve is the one above. He created us. But this one, we create gods. We create gods. We appoint the local government, one of us, and we begin to serve him. And he kills us, and we are happy. So we need to learn from this. You understand? Freedom of information is the only way we can actually checkmate them. If we know, Kenneth is waiting for that one. I'm actually saying to Nigeria, please let us understand what the Nigerian freedom of information is. Again, I'm going to call on the on-air personality on the ground today to brief us a little bit about freedom of information. I want to have a show on that. You understand? A full show on Nigerian freedom of information. What is it? Because even if you go to ordinary security, you know where I learned about freedom of information in the UK? I was broke one time and I said, I'm looking for a job. You understand? They said I should go and do security job. So I went for the training. It was the CCTV one. And then you will learn about freedom of information. You understand? The right you have to ask and what are the things that goes with it. So and these things are never something another person will not even really know if you're in the UK. So my question is, can I just use the big word, freedom of information? What is it? How do we assess it? How do we know what is happening in our community, in our government?
A lot of times the government would not allow you to get information. Or I would say there are laws made and there are counter laws also made for this.
Yes,
the government will say there is a freedom of information. Then they also say when you say something is insightful, they indict you of hate speech. You know, so a lot of persons do not understand what freedom of information is in society anymore. And talking about giving us information, there's more called accountability. The government needs to be accountable. Remember going back to the days of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who would face on the daily, monthly, how much allocation is given to every federal government per state, given to state, given to federal government. You know, but after that administration left, that was never done anymore. So we keep clamoring for that. So federal government, let us know on a daily basis what is done. You have a publication, you have newspaper publications everywhere where you can make publications there, and the masses will see how much, even if you are lying.
Yes.
Even if you are lying, there could be a need that they are lying from what they are posting. But at least let us see a figure that this is what's going out, and this is what we are getting as revenue on a daily basis. But that's the easiest way for you to be accountable to society, because waiting for us to call you out to say, okay, how much you are giving, how much you are spending, it's a long run. But it's easy for you to just do that, to say, okay.
No, they have NTA, if they don't need to pay. NTA is their own. They can go to NTA and it's a daily program. Let the government go and just talk to us. You understand? Thank you. Accountability is exactly what I'm saying. You understand? That little level of accountability will carry us along. Actually, the government will be, in fact, things will be easier for the government because we will believe him, we will work with him. You know, this is what the government says. This is what the government is doing. You understand? And this is the amount they have. Oh, we are owing, that's why we cannot spend so amount. Communicate. Tell us. We're not stupid. We're not, every Nigerian, you see, sometimes we want to listen to the fake news, but we listen to the good ones and we reason with you. You understand? So the government is actually suffering if they don't tell us what the problems, and we're not aware. That's why we read, Tinubu don't drop the money, this one are thief, this one, because if you left us with no option.
No information about what's going on. Then another thing is the blame game that each government seems to want to pass to the other. You know, when it was the Buhari administration, it was the fault of everything was PDP and Goodluck Jonathan. Now it's an APC to an APC government. They're still complaining that they've left up with empty treasury. These persons were in your party. They were your friends. You knew what they were doing. So why complain now? You knew exactly what you were getting yourself into when you were going to the government. So why are you complaining?
In fact, why are you just telling us something? Why making a statement without backing up with facts? You know, give us figures. You know, this is what we earn. So the people don't say something, they just say it. We
and,
every
and,
to
and,
treasure.
and I think that is
And you'll be buying new vehicles,
that
SUVs,
late, yes, after buying SUVs,
SUVs
after
and all
buying
that,
jets,
and there's no money.
and all that,
Eh?
they're telling us
You want to
yachts,
buy
cars,
yachts, and then there's no
and
money.
you're borrowing money to
Eh,
students
but
and everything, there's no money. Well
I
done,
beg
When it
Lagos.
comes
you.
to the general public, there's no money. Treasury is
Yes,
empty. When it
yeah.
comes to government to spend, there's money available for
There's
government to
money.
spend.
Thank you,
So
that guy. There's money. They are all. In fact, that's why I'm so happy they deported from Saudi. You understand? What are you doing in Saudi when there's no money? Eh? What are you doing? In fact, God.
Is it even the rich people that that were deported, sir? Let's be sincere. It's just the normal, average people that wants to go to.
But at least they can afford it.
You know,
They
the
can
rich
afford
one will
tickets.
always go with their private jets, expensive jets, planes, and all that. It's not even those ones that were deported. Anyway, we move on quickly to Vanguard. I will take few of these stories here because of time. And the main headline here says, shock as Saudi Arabia cancel visa on arrival for 264 Nigerians. And the rider says, passengers airborne back to Nigeria. All the stories are on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here that says, Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi, governor polls. Triumphant Diri, Udodo, and Uzodima unveil agenda. And that story is on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. As well, there's a story here that says Plateau protesters storm Supreme Court over sack of 4 PDP members from NAS. And that story is on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here as well that says Tinubu to NJC appoints qualified lawyers to Supreme Court appeal court bench, and that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Why colleges of education can't remit 40% to federal government treasury. This is coming from COEASU, and that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here that says insecurity. You have done well. Rabidu tells CDS service chiefs on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. These are some of the stories we'll be able to take from the Vanguard newspaper. There's a story here that actually caught my attention. Kenneth, remember we spoke on this story yesterday. Federal government, the universities to start remitting 40% to federal government. Now we're seeing that colleges of education are saying they cannot remit to federal government. That money is too much.
Well, like I said, it shows the level of nepotism and hypocrisy we have in our educational system. For instance, after yesterday, I had to go back and do a little research on what they are remitting. They are not remitting from the school fees. What they are remitting is from the service charges that they give students. You see, university will tell you you're paying 10,000 naira for a lab coat. You understand? So what they're supposed to give is 40% of that. And it's not just about the schools. It was a dossier that was generated by the federal government some 3 years back, where I said that every federal parastatal will remit 40% of their internal generated revenue, mostly from their service charges, back to the federal government. And nobody had visited that for some time. But of course, Tinubu has been able to bring in some very, very smart men into his government. You have this Baja Miller, and of course some other crafty lawyers who are now in his government. So they have to study a lot of things and say, okay, fine. If we're going to be funding the university 3 billion naira or the cost of education 3 billion naira a year, no problem. Look at where these guys are siphoning money from students. Service charges. You have charges on the hostel, you have charges on lab coat, you have charges on field trips, you have charges on practicals and everything. No problem. We will give you 3 billion, but we will start taking 40% from everything you do. And now you see they're all jittery because that is where they steal the money from. That is where they pack money that they don't even have to account again for. Now, do you know the reason why they're shouting? It's not even to remit from now. The federal government is asking them to audit from 3 years ago.
Good.
That is why they're shaking. If it is for now, they will say, okay, that's no problem. We will do. We will start. They ask them to audit themselves from 3 years ago. All the money you've been taking from students. 3 years. And most of our VCs have already built houses with it. Some of them have very big tummies with it. Some have married 2 wives, 3 wives with it. So they are scared. They are not even scared because they cannot pay back. They are scared because it is going to show a high level of corruption in universities. So the College of Education, they are shouting that most of them are saying they are not federal owned. That is what I'm seeing in the news. They are saying we are not federal owned. We are just giving accreditation some years ago, 1 year, 2 years ago. So we cannot audit from 3 years back. But President, if I'm to say, the federal government, this is an opportunity for them to unleash the full weight of the ICPC on the university system. The ICPC should be sent into all the universities, all the colleges of education. Everything that concerns education, they should go there and investigate. There's massive fraud in the university. If you have money, you can buy certificates in Nigeria. Sometimes you don't even need to go to university again. If you have 3 million naira now, you can go to one of the universities and they'll give you one certificate. You're already a graduate.
3 million naira is even
You wanted to say something.
It's a shame.
My brother, people see it from different light. People see it from different light. Why we were saying the VCs and rectors and provosts are starting from the universities or this college of education. Also, take your time to look back how these schools are run. For a long time, you see NLC as to clamoring for funding of our universities. A school where his light, just the bill, electricity bill for a school is 1 million naira, and that university is giving 1.5 million to run per annum, and their monthly electricity bill is 1 million. How do you think the school pays this bill? Because for now, hold on. A lot of these things, we try to look at it from one side. The federal government, who have not been funding these universities, have been saying, do what you can to run your university. And the school have decided to say, okay, we need to pay bills. The school needs to be maintained. A lot of things needs to be done. These hostels you're talking about needs to be maintained. So they have added bills. It's not just the federal government now paying for it, it's students now paying for it. Now the federal government is saying they are looking for a way to cut out from giving universities money. So they're now saying, we're not funding you. We are bring us. For us to fund you, bring monies that you have been collecting. But if they really take out time to say, okay, let us make records, the schools are also spending a lot to maintain the level they are in compared to how much federal government is giving to the universities to run.
I'm going to let the two of you have this discussion, and I'm going to play the devil advocate here. Now, this is the funniest thing. Private universities, they charge a lot because they're making billions. But private universities are running again. Still the same story we're talking, successfully. Without nobody. It's just one man. They run successfully because of the money paid by the school, by students, if I'm correct. And now you have a place where you have students of about 1,000, 2,000 in the university.
More than only one class is like 500.
Okay, wait, Princess. Imagine how much such a school we get if students pay the little money, as little as even 50,000.
They pay school fees. Who says
what I'm saying is, where is all this money going to? How come that we cannot run? Why do you still depending on the government? You're talking about a small fee, a small electricity bill, or that is nothing.
That's just one of it.
No, I know. What I'm trying to say is that we are talking of some huge amount of money here. I don't know how many number of students. Let's calculate this. I don't know why churches run schools now. Churches, they are private schools, nursery and primary, because they're making money. They charge you only 20,000. 20 times 200 children. How much is that? Before you pay your chief teachers maybe 50,000 naira, you are swelling. How much do they pay teachers, lecturers? They are not well paid. And look at the amount of money students are pumping into the place. In fact, the federal government they are the one destroying themselves. They should have made it a very clear thing. This university will be run by an institution, to run the finance of a university. And about the finance in all of them, they appoint these board members. The board members will take from the state. If you ever see,
you see what we're saying.
Exactly. They take money from the state again, take from the university, take from the schools. But if these board members of any universities are actually not these political appointees sent there to go and make money, if they are sent there to manage the affairs, they should be technocrats sent in or make it even that they work with the federal government on business basis. You go there, you run the university successfully, make sure the university is successful, and then remit money back to us because that university is our investment. For me, I'll be telling you that is my investment. I build this is one of the property, the asset of the federal government of Nigeria. So I want to make money from it. I should not even be paying lecturers. And you know what? I will give my student loan. My money I will give to them, to students as loan. But I will not pay, I will not give university any money. Go and raise money because the money the student going to pay is enough to run the university so that there's no this whole blame game. Also blaming government blaming also somebody suffering. You know when that happens, university will be fighting to get students. Not this jam telling people what is. In the UK, university they campaign, they put out hunt for students. They want you to come because you have money. You are coming in and you see.
But in Nigeria, we don't see it that way because everybody is cashing out from it. The federal government would write an allocation for universities and will not get it. Universities will not get it. So the federal government is sitting that. Universities are also thinking, everybody's thinking about what they want to get. I'm not saying universities are sent. They're also thinking of what they want to get. So the persons that are suffering are the masses. And because they're the ones paying for it.
No, a time will come. If the government is thinking well, if the government do this, I'm a student. I want to go to university. I'm not going to the one that's going to stop in only 2 years. I know I'm going to go to university that will run 4 years, and I don't want to spend 20 years in 4 years course. So I'm going to go to the one that I'm sure will deliver in 4 years time, and I will add. And I don't mind a little bit paying a little bit more. You understand? I don't want to go to the private university where I'm going to pay minimum of 4,500,000. So you see, only 100,000 school fees. We change the narrative of universities in Nigeria.
How many people can afford the money?
But it's 100,000.
The student loan now. No, the government has come up with student loan.
Are they sincere with this student loan? You know the guidelines. You know the guidelines to get this student loan.
I don't go. You already faulted the system that has not failed. The government said, "I'm going to give you student loan," and we should be telling the federal government. This is why we want to hear this your guy going on strike. Labour talking now. We welcome student loan, but you know what? The student loan, as long as I'm a Nigerian, I'm entitled to student loan. Any way you want me to prove my identity, meaning because I have a national identity card, you come me to come and vote. I'm a Nigerian. I'm entitled to it. And the universities are the ones we're paying to. You know the funniest thing? They don't pay my student loan to me. They pay the ones to your university. And they give you allowance. So the money does not, all of them don't go to you. That's what they do here. You understand? You get admission, the student body, your university have a department there that works with the student finance. They pay to them. Your money will still come to you because you have not all of them go to your school fees. So you actually 500,000 is a lot for a student, and we can afford it because the money is going back into the system. This is what the government is doing. The government is rotating the money. The money does not stay with us.
That's the system that works in the UK.
No, but can you see the system? It's going to work.
In Nigeria, it's free. No, I understand what you're saying. It's going to work. They have the intention is good, but is the implementation, is it going to be great? That's another thing because
like you just said to him, we are already fighting a policy that has not even failed. Yes. You understand? This is a policy
because the guidelines that are laid down is already a guideline that is already designed to fail already.
I agree with you. Kenneth, the federal government saying that, you should bring lawyers. And for me, you have to get a civil servant that earns a certain amount of money. You have to know the representative from your community. How many persons have access to all those things? Before money society, do they have access to all those things? No.
That is where I'm expecting organized labor to come in. To say no,
we're not going to go on strike because they beat their man up.
I belong to an organization. So let me come in now. I belong to an organization called the West African Youth Congress. We have already written a letter to the federal government saying the only requirement to access a student loan should be your national identity card.
Period.
The moment this is proving you are a Nigerian and you have an admission, you should be able to access the loan. Just like you said, the money should not even be paid to a student's account. The money should be transferred directly to the university if there is a stipend for survivor, for you to pay transport, for you to feed and go to school.
If you do that, you see what happens. If you do that, the school are now well funded. Directly, you funded the school. Well, without even paying them.
Kenneth.
And the school will be paying you.
Kenneth, how do you identify somebody that a true Nigerian without the ID card? Do you know that I've seen migrants carrying Nigerian identity card?
Okay. Well,
and that becomes a thing the federal government should have even started with.
Lack of database is what's killing us in our system. Lack of database. We have the database of persons that are Nigerian. We have a database of students.
I held onto it.
Okay.
These people are not Nigerians.
Yes, okay, but Princess, those people, do they come to Nigeria? They want to go to Nigerian university? Because we're not going to look at the whole fault alone. Now, the 17th year, I'm not a Nigerian. I'm in Nigeria. I've gotten admission. So those are two things. And I know I have a local government. You see, all these things we are talking now is out of air. Because for you to get an admission, we have your local government. There are little things you use to get your admission. Your problem is getting the admission. Because once you can get that admission, because university have a responsibility to make sure they filter the student they are engaging. So if you admit those students, then the federal government have no authority to say the person is not a Nigerian. You understand? You prove your identity. We pay to the, see what I'm saying now. By the time government pay 100,000 per student to the university dare not say they don't have money. You're not paying your staff. In fact, the federal government will be waiting for profit from the university, but you're the one that gives them the money. The money comes back to you. The students are now going to school peacefully, and when they graduate, they still owe the country. If they get a good job, they pay us back.
And if they don't get, we move
ahead. You see, and that is simple. Very simple. It's not magic.
It sounds simple.
Then we have paid a good price for national security.
Exactly.
And the country is a secured country. You're going to empower people. If that is the only thing that government has done,
and then we cannot talk of the kind of education. If now government can say, hey, we will not pay for that kind of education. You understand? This is the education we need, because this is what we need for our people.
But is the government ready to implement all these things we are saying? It sounds so simple. We have analyzed all these things before, but I will keep saying, is the intention. First of all, the policy is great, it's nice.
You said something.
But is it done with the right intention?
Wait, I don't know. The last time you said is, who are the government? Who are the government? This is not something one Tinubu is going to do from there. This is something that, because the student loan team is not controlled by Tinubu, it's not controlled by me, student, it's not controlled by the government. It's a system that is going to hardly fail, because a system is all you need to set in place. Nigeria always look for one man running it. No, this is a system.
That's what I'm trying to say. The failure of Nigerian government is not the persons there failing. It's the institutions that are failing. If the institutions are properly set up, then we don't have a challenge for these things to work.
Chris, remember, what we are talking about now is the federal government's 10 billion, which for me personally I think is very small. 10 billion naira for students' loan. There is still state government that takes 2 billion, 1 point something billion every month as security vote. Our state government also have been at the state level.
God will bless you, Kenneth. God will bless you. You see, the government is not even serious. The truth is, the government is not even serious when they say student loan. How much? What is 10 billion? How many people going to
How many is 10 billion going to get to? It's small.
There should be no limit. You know the truth. Eh?
Well,
that money that goes to the state. Wait, the money that goes to the university, federal government is still getting its own. Because the university, hey, this is what you are getting. Where's your tax? You understand? We need to get our own share. The federal government it's not me. It's the system talking. You, the university, you've gotten how many total number of students? Those that pay their own, we know. But this one, we know. So we know that this is number of students you have. Where's our pay? Where's the tax you pay to the community? Simple. You understand? University here makes money. Princess, it doesn't make sense for you guys.
Like I said,
private people are making money. Private university are making money.
the policy is great, but the intent of creating the policy, is it great? That's the thing. Because they are saying 10 billion because they know that that money, at the end of the day,
It will not go
students might
anywhere.
not even get the money.
Yes.
The money might be siphoned. So,
I
because
don't believe so, sir.
But anything can happen.
There was a time in Imo State, Rochas Okorocha was the governor. For about 8 years, he was the governor. I know 3 of my siblings that attended school in Imo State University, and they graduated without paying a dime. If it could be done in Imo State, as little as Imo State, Rochas Okorocha was funding this scholarship fund in Imo State with his security vote, using the same template of his Rochas Okorocha Foundation. And that is why, even as at when people say, Hope Uzodinma will talk, nobody will dance to him. But if Rochas Okorocha comes to the crowd, everybody is shouting because people really benefited from him using the student loan template. We have people who are still owing Imo State under the student loan. And when they get employed in the civil service, some of them thought they already escaped. I have a cousin that thought he already escaped with the thing. They got job in the local government, and then the first month, it was supposed to be paid 90,000. They paid him 40,000. He was ranting. They said, "Hey, you are owing Imo State government. Look at it here.
Exactly.
It's in the account that you
Exactly.
school." The guy started shouting. So it is possible. It only takes zeal from the government. But my own
sincerity, not zeal even. The zeal is there. It takes sincerity.
I love that one.
Listen,
Sincerity.
I like
from the
sincerity,
government.
but you know
Sincerity to make it work. Not the zeal is already there.
Okay.
Sincerity
When
to
you
make
talk
it work.
about sincerity, I don't need people to be sincere. I don't need people to understand that if it fails, it affects everybody. Now, the funniest thing, Nigerian universities are not good. We're going to Ghana. Taking our money. We're bringing our children to come and study in the UK. A school fees in the UK is £14,000. Coming from our treasury, our money. Calculate the number of students studying in the UK
When you
today.
say if it fails, it affects everybody. No. Some persons are benefiting from stealing from it.
No,
They do not care who is
I
losing.
tell you, you know what is not good with them? They are not secured. In the UK, you see a big man, it doesn't need to have a big fence. The big men in Nigeria, the first thing you guys do is to build a big mountain fence because you're running from yourself. You become a victim of your own success. To have money in Nigeria is a crime because you can't go out. People are watching you. That's not supposed to be so. So if they think they are benefiting, nobody is actually winning in this race. Which rich man can confidently walk on the street in Nigeria alone? They go just gaga. He go end up somewhere.
yeah.
So
No, the president is even planning to withdraw VIP security, so we are
VIP.
looking
He
into that.
withdrew 100,000 policemen.
Yes, we
So,
went through
yes,
that alone.
we went through that news
Yes.
at the beginning of this show
Oh,
that
this
FG withdraws over 100,000 policemen from VIPs.
Yes. And again, I faulted the system again, saying that again, you see, in this country, like I said, only in Nigeria, quote me, that you see a musician, his security man is a policeman. There is bodyguard. You understand? Be privately paid for. If you want security, you go and pay for it because of your nature of your job. You create because by virtue of being a celebrity, you are wanted. People will be. So you need some security. Not that they're going to shoot you, but just to protect you. That's why they have bodyguard. Again, Nigeria, like you rightly said, you think somebody think he's making profit, stealing the whole money. At the end of the day, who is really safe in Nigeria?
Nobody's safe.
You said the poor man is not safe, but the rich man is not safe too.
All right, we move on quickly to the Guardian newspaper, and we're going to take few stories, just a very few stories here. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Guardian. Mary is supposed to take that.
Okay, here the big headline says International Day. Doctors, patients bemoan diabetes epidemic, 200% spike on treatment. And you can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says NFC, TUC ignore court orders, begins nationwide strike over assaults on Ajero. And you can find that story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says Knox praise for INEC as Diri coach to victory in Bayelsa. And you can find that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says human trafficking. Benue ranks highest as 1.6 million Nigerians get trapped in modern slavery. And you can find that story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. And we have another story that says diplomatic crew grieves as Saudi denies air peace passengers Jeddah entry. You can find that story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. And then we have another story that says Pendominium as drivers fleeing from LASMA officials kills 2 sweepers. You can find that story on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Guardian newspaper.
Yes, I have two major stories here that actually caught my attention. And the writer to the big story says 11.2 million Nigerians suffer from diabetes. It's I'm supposed to have a doctor, but he just told me now that he's on call. He's still on call treating some patient that will be with me shortly. I don't know how soon that will be, but I'm still going to bring him on my show this week. But it's quite scary, like I said, and like the doctor was telling me last night that it's no longer the case of elderly people. You're not seeing children, old people having diabetes. I wanted to ask, is it the things we eat? Is it our lifestyle? How do we even we discussed this the other day with Kenneth, right? That sometimes we don't do exercise, we don't walk, the things we eat. When we think, okay, I don't drink Coke, I only do beer, and you don't know that the sugar.
You guys want to eat chicken. That's the problem. In those days, we think I don't football. You understand? Go punish that disease. You see, this is the problem. You understand? Today, you guys want to eat chicken. I was in Nigeria. Somebody beat some.
Chicken does not contain diabetes now. Chicken.
You can look at the chicken growing and you eating it. In those days, we eat fowl, not the chicken. We don't eat chicken in Nigeria. We eat fowl. There's no chance for diabetes if you eat fowl. If you eat chicken, you get fowl. You want to be like a white people. Look at them here.
But let's just say more awareness is being created. In those days, people might have died of diabetes, but because the level of awareness is not there, you might not know. So we're not saying it's not necessarily what we need to do.
I disagree. You know the kind of water my father drank, and he didn't die. When we go to the farm, they use hand to push this thing, and they were drinking the water. That man did not die because of the good food. If I drink that water now, I will not even stay the next day. If I drink that water now,
I don't even think we have enough awareness, sir. We have an international day for diabetes. Do we have a national day for diabetes? The reason is on the front line is because there's an international day today on awareness on diabetes. Do we have a national day of diabetes awareness?
When I mean awareness, yes. Treatment is now more. The test for it is now more. It's not like in those days you have to be sick for you to be tested for diabetes. Now you maybe on a lighter note, people could just get tested and probably when you feel a certain image. Then talking about your father who drank certain water, the level of tolerance.
I don't know, I'm going to disagree with you here. In those days, maybe I say suffering is very good for this diabetes.
The level of tolerance in those days are not the same as now.
Understand? We trek because we don't have a lot of money. We walk. If there's physical exercise, you don't need to go to gym. You know what is so funny today? You go and eat a lot. You go and gym. You go and eat. You go and gym.
And you have the mindset
and you go and eat again.
That's what we're saying.
Those days we don't have money. This one.
Yes.
Call it
that's
a
right.
cost.
Because of the things we do, the level of tolerance in those days is higher than what we have now.
Yes.
So people don't want to even walk a mile. They want to just enter keke or enter bike or enter transport.
When you go farm, he needs sugar. No, sugar is not gonna be a problem for him. You understand? If you do a lot of work, but then you sit down on the AC with your fast stomach, have you stolen all the money? No, diabetes is your portion. I have no chance. I have no pity for them. Go out and work, or eat good food. You see, what we have in Nigeria, if it's in the UK, we call it organic food. It's more expensive than anything you can think of. The groundnut you grow properly, not the one that is chemically grown, is so expensive. Go and price it. Yeah. So you go to a shop, they say this is organic food. Though. Guy, only poor people don't go there to buy food in this country. I'm not talking of there. But the one they import, the nonsense they bring to Africa, they will even ignore our own food. Mary and the boyfriend will go to this what they call eatery. Eat a lot of ice cream. Feel good. Now poison. Sorry.
That's
there's another thing to note in this report. I'm just looking at it now. they were trying to highlight the prices of drugs for diabetic patient, and it was said that an insulin had gone up from 3,000 naira a vial to 15,000. We'll have oral medication from 9,000 a month to about 21,000 or 27,000. The treatment of uncomplicated diabetic case from 25,000 to 40,000 in public hospitals, and from 125,000 to 250,000 for complicated cases in private and public. But what I'm saying is this now. This is my point. They only talk about the way the price are skyrocketing. If we have about 11.2 million Nigerians who are diabetic, do we have any pharmaceutical company that produce diabetic drugs in Nigeria? We end up importing drugs to save 11.2 million Nigerians. So if forever or if for any reason we have a row with the West, let's say we are now at loggerheads with UK or US or whatever country that gives us these drugs, and they seize these drugs, that means we have 11.2 million Nigerians dead already.
That boils down to one thing I said. When you go to business school, they tell you one thing. You identify a problem and you prefer solution. Money will come. All right. Again, and you say that our medical students, those that study pharmacy, cannot come up with that thing to cure us. That is something I don't believe. You understand? That Nigerian cannot come up with with our own insulin to cure us.
In fact, I wonder where our native drugs are now, because I believe
you said something. You said something how organic foods are being shelved away and we are now believing on canned products imported. That's a mentality we have. We think that if it's not coming from abroad, it's not the best one. But that's where the Bureau of Information or Orientation needs to come to play.
Yes.
Where made in Nigeria products need to be on our shelves rather than thinking of importing. But until we create that awareness, we still believe that if it's not abroad, because maybe we could have these drugs, but Nigerians will feel it's made in Nigeria, it's fake. So let's not deal with it. So we want to deal with the ones coming from abroad. Until we create enough awareness to say, okay, let's believe in what, and NAFDAC itself is functioning well.
Yes. You know what? Let me tell you one thing. I said it the other day. I said I bought something from Wales, brought it here because I was going to Nigeria. I had to send it to Nigeria. Do you know that this cloth, it was made in Bangladesh, imported to Wales. So when I got to Nigeria, I told them, listen, this cloth, I'm the one that brought it to. I said this cloth is not UK made, though, it's Bangladesh. So you are buying. They say no, it's UK made. They don't even believe me that I brought it. They brought the container that it is UK made. I should shut up. I'm the one telling you I'm the one that brought it. So you cannot even understand.
If it's coming from abroad, there's value to it. But if it's coming from here, there's no value. So we need to create that awareness.
Are you telling me that the study at one stupid school you come and study in the UK, come to our system here, see the kind of university we go to? It's better than the Nigerian university. How can?
No.
You understand? Nigerian university, when you write, read. You understand? Yeah, we're not going to. I'm not. If not that one, I'm not pass. You understand? What are you guys doing? You understand? Yeah. So we need to again believe in ourselves again. You understand? Let us believe in ourselves again. Do you know what? Somebody that carry some UK university degree, I won't employ them because they didn't really go to the school.
But that's the value. You come to. I have a friend. I have friends that have great jobs because they study in the UK. And if you put us together, they cannot match when it comes to knowledge. But because we went to Nigerian universities, our certificates are not. They don't have value to employers here in Nigeria. They say, oh, they went to school in the UK.
Can you imagine if you bring Nigerian certificate here, no value. If you use it there, no value. God will save us. Because here, the truth is, our curriculum here is designed for people who in the UK. You understand? In fact, when you study law here, it's only those law that they teach you some things that have something to do with your society. But that's when you are about to graduate. If not from the one to this, they teach you English law, English legal system. Who's going to teach you Nigerian legal system? But how can a lawyer trained here be good enough, be better than the lawyer trained in Nigeria? That is well trained with the Nigerian curriculum.
Well, so
You
this is
understand?
like
This
that
is a
common law.
disaster. You understand? These are little things. It boils down to, oh, you see this last thing we're doing now. Most of the medicine, they test themselves, their own DNA, not the black man own.
Exactly.
The medicine is not sometimes even applicable to us.
Anyway,
But
I'll
that's
bring it
what we
up
value.
so we can discuss more on the issue of diabetes and the spike we're seeing. And also, there's a story here that is, oh, let's just speak on that before we wrap up the spot and we wrap up the show. Human trafficking. Benue ranked highest at 1.6 million Nigerians get trapped in modern slavery.
Kind of human trafficking. To where? I don't
Okay,
understand. I'm just.
no. I saw a report
Everybody
recently.
wants to jackpot, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
part of.
Japa syndrome. I spoke with,
Are you saying that they're taking them abroad?
yes, I spoke with a young girl from activist from Benue State last week, and she posted something. I spoke with her. She'll be on our show soon. I brought her here before, and she said that this is what they are faced with. Apparently, because of the banditry, and now most of them are in the IDP camps where you know they don't have access to their homes, to quality education, food,
Basic
basic
amenities.
amenities, and then you see that they are all packed somewhere very small. They under the rain, under the sun, the flooding. They are there, and then they are not taking unsafe water, even the water they drink, and then they are going through a lot there. And because of this, a lot of people now want to take advantage of the situation. They come and say, "Ah, madam, I can take your child somewhere and live a better life. When she's okay, she'll come and pick you." People are vulnerable, and they start taking them. But the major issues they are having is the rate of abandoned IDP camps in Benue due to insecurity.
But this issue we're talking about now, I want to understand it. Are you saying that they're taking Benue kids abroad for prostitution or for modern slavery? Let me understand. Is that the story?
That is
Is
what
that
she told me. They are not taking them to neighboring countries, not just
yes? I
far
understand.
away.
Neighboring
Yeah,
country.
that's what's actually trending because they will tell you are going abroad, but you have to go through the land. So you end up in the likes of Niger Republic, Chad, Benin Republic, and while you are there, you are you experience all kind of slavery, in terms of prostitution, in terms of using you as a maybe as a housemaid. All these are what they experience. And most of the northern countries northern states, sorry, middle belt northern states are prone to this because they believe that living even within Nigeria, they're taking from one state to another. Saying when you get to Delta State, when you get to Edo State, when you get to River State, there's greener pasture there for you, or you go and work for somebody, and this person will even work and are not paid.
Yeah, but the slavery anyway in Nigeria. That is even
That agrees. Can
our
I come
slavery
in?
is slavery enough.
That agrees. You see, everybody in Nigeria, I was just waiting for you guys to talk. Everybody in Nigeria that is under the constitution of the federal government that says that 30,000 naira is the minimum wage is under modern slavery. As far as I'm
That's it.
concerned. That
That's
is,
it.
if you pay more than 30,000 naira, that is why we are not under modern slavery. Everybody that is working and getting 30,000 naira as minimum wage in Nigeria is under modern slavery. Because there is no way you tell me that in a modern country that a Nigerian is earning $30 for a month, which means it's $1 for a day.
$30. It's not to it's up to $30. Okay.
That's 30,000 now. If we're converting at 1,000 naira, I don't even want to add what is on top. So why would we not have people who are under this slavery? Most of these girls don't even go outside the country. That increase, if you come to my place in Aba, there are some mini brothels you see that spring up some place in the village, and then you just go, who is these small girls? Sometimes we go as a youth, we go and spoil these places. You see girls of 10 years, 12 years, where are they coming from? From Benue State, from Jos, from Plateau villages. And then you ask them, why do you come here? And they say, if you take them from here and go back to their side, it is even worse. It's better you leave them here. And no, we cannot keep you here because this is not.
Okay, we're seeing network issues
For
there.
themselves,
Okay.
they're working for somebody, and the person they're working for is also working for another person. So you say that even the girls, they don't even have a secure future.
It's a change.
Most times, they even bring them to all these places. The other young man talked about in River State, in Delta, in Lagos, in Abuja, places that are a bit open. And when they come there, they tell them that this is outside the country. In fact, you are in a new country. They've never been exposed to anywhere good as those places. And then they walk. After 3-4 years, they now have enough money saved, not to be free, but to now take them to Italy for the merons. And oh my God, see, we have people suffering in Nigeria. But as far as I'm concerned, the fundamental way of tackling it is, first of all, to address the issue of of human life security in Nigeria. People don't matter anything in Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria you go on paper, you see 3 killed, 2 killed, 10 killed. People are dying. Nobody's asking questions. Nobody's bothered.
That's why I asked, why is the NSC man that is just broken, he has a broken head, that we are going on strike? But now people are dying every day. You guys are not going on strike. That was my concern. But now it has been made clear that there are other issues behind. And the truth is, Princess, I know we've got to round up. We have an issue here. Labour, we'll start with them because they are the one that brought this issue. Labour are going on strike for a good reason, but the truth is they've not carried us along. If it is true that you guys are going on strike because of this, make it very known. Let us understand why this strike. Not only those that will go on strike, we all go on strike, even in our mind, in our campaign, in things we say. You understand? We want to be able to, at my age, I want to be able to say, this is why I'm doing it. It's not what is going on. I want to know why. That's why I always say why. And because at my level, I always ask why. Not what is going on. What is going on doesn't matter. Why is it going on? You understand? We're going on strike. Labor, we are poor. Why are we poor? You understand? We talk of university. ASU is joining the strike. ASU, what is ASU proposing for the federal government? Because they've been the one destroying our university for years now and remain so. I'm not blaming ASU for whatever they're doing. But if it is true that private universities are surviving, and you cannot survive with that big, beautiful, in fact, how do you describe a Nigerian university?
They are very big, of course.
With all the facilities, it's a village, a community, and yet we are broke. You understand? We are broke. You own a community and you're broke. You're waiting for federal government. No, we need to change
because I will cut you in quickly. Why is ASU going on? Because they know the amount of money the federal government or people in the federal government are collecting using the names of this university. So that's why it's not. I would agree. See, it's not for the masses. They are doing it for themselves. It's not for the masses. ASU wants to get. Federal government wants to get. So everybody's thinking of themselves, not the masses.
Exactly. So don't carry us along. Don't put us in it. You understand? If Labour want to get, don't call on us. If you are here to work for us, then let us know. Let us be in the know so we can be part of it. You cannot just take my name and go and fight and say I'm with you. No, please tell me what you are fighting for, so we'll all help you to fight and achieve the common goal. Like I said, you might think that you've made a lot of money as a rich man. Nobody is free in Nigeria because no rich man can confidently walk on the street. Your children are abroad. If they come home, you find a way to pick them from the airport straight to the house. So with that big fence, that's not how we grew up. We grew up running on the streets, growing as neighbors. All that community life is gone.
It's gone.
It's
gone.
See?
Far gone. You can't even go to maybe your place now, this period, and then you want to mingle. You start hiding for the fear of I don't want to know that this people are in town.
Exactly.
Because
I know you don't
like Kenneth said, the person that will even champion your kidnapping will be somebody from within.
Exactly.
That will go and call people that is around, came from somewhere. I think there's money, let's do this. Anyway, we wrap up the show. But Kenneth, I want you to take this story on the spot, just the headline, and we'll call it a day. The main headline here coming from the sports desk, it says that terrific victory. Boniface ranks fourth highest goal contributor in Europe's top 5 league. There's a story here, so they say Joshua to fight winning December. World Cup qualifiers. Oba Soge replaces Okoye. Sadiq Collins Omeru arrives. These are some of the stories we'll be able to take, but I want you to throw your weight on this headline here that says terrific victory. Boniface ranks fourth highest goal contributor in Europe's top 5 leagues.
You see, Princess, the story of Victor Boniface is one that keeps these are things that keep happening every year. You see one Nigerian footballer every year will just pop up. Last year we had Oshimen with his immense contribution to help Napoli, take up the Italian league. Now we're having Victor Boniface, of course, doing a lot in Bayer Leverkusen. This is one of those things that that shows about hard work. Victor Boniface at the time had been sidelined for over 5 months, with injuries, and he even said himself that he almost gave up on football at the time in his life. He took encouragement from his family, from his coach, and of course from very few, spiritual leaders. Of course, you know how Nigerians are with spirituality. And but for me, this young man is a talent that needs to come to the Premier League. I believe in the Premier League testing, the grit of every footballer, not just Nigerian players, but everybody in the Nigerian football. For me, Victor Boniface is a good guy. His character is always very, very funny. I saw a post he made 2 days ago where some players were trying to tag him back. He was like, "Everyone, leave me!" He has this way of putting, life to any situation at all. So this is a young man, very good, very guy, very, 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 very good. But of course, the age monster is something I want to laugh at, But let me not go there before it looks like some marketing Nigerian players. But Victor Boniface is 23, 24, then I don't know how old I'm supposed to be, But that's by the way. But very nice one, very good guy, playing very well, assists, creativity, scoring wonderful goals. You have to give it to Victor Boniface. And then if you look at the story with Oshimen refusing a Saudi move, well, I want to understand why he's doing that. Maybe probably because he feels he still has a lot to offer at the big stage. He wants to play, his best football at some of the best going to the Saudi. But for me, maybe the Igbo man mentality in me will always say, I'm going to go to Saudi and go and collect this money, because at the end of the day, the reason you're doing all this, aside the trophy, is to make money. I remember Kaka releasing some statements yesterday, actually, where he said that he's impressing players like Ronaldo, Neymar, and the rest moving to Saudi League. That over the years, when he made his first move out of the Premier League to go get some money from, I think that should be the Chinese league, people criticized him. But that players are beginning to understand that at the end of the day, with all the trophies you win, the only person you are marketing with winning trophies is your club. And at the end of the day, something will happen, and the club will tell you no player is bigger than the club. So what does it pay you to stay at the club? Keep winning trophies for them, adding to their cabinet and trophy cabinet, and they're growing bigger. You say Man U is the biggest club in the world. Real Madrid is the biggest club in European competition because players keep winning trophies for them. But the players don't even make up to what the club presidents make. So for me, Osimhen, if he was to take my advice, I would say please move to the Saudi League, go make yourself some very, very good money over there. And then if you look at, there's a header, there that says Obasoji replaces Okoye. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I was thinking when we were going to replace, goalkeepers at the national team, like I said the last time, I was expecting us to now start looking for homegrown talent. But of course, we've got to bring another European, Europe-grown, Europe-based goalkeeper. Careful research into this young man, you see that he does not even sit on the bench most of in his club. These are people that are professionally paid bench warmers, professionally paid training assistants to the real goalkeepers in these clubs. And
it's not fair, okay? It's not fair.
There's also a header here that says the female yellow green begin camping. That should be about rickets in the Nigerian context. But if you look at the dressing, it's a very funny one. I'm seeing people carrying sticks. They want to look like they're playing rickets, But these are very funny thing. And then you have Joshua to fight Wally in December. I don't know how Joshua fell down so low in the rankings. Joshua is now fighting unknown boxers. Probably some people want to say that since Joshua came to prostrate for Baba Buhari, he has just been falling down and down and down. I'm not a fan of Buhari. Everybody that Buhari greeted from our past Super Eagles, whenever he calls them on video call, they go and they lose a match. So I don't know why Joshua is just falling so bad. He's having to fight unknown boxers over and over again. I think this is what we can take on the sports now, Princess.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. But that is quite funny, and I don't know, but their outfit there, the yellow and green also looks somehow. I don't understand, and as well, I don't think anybody that our ex-president touches usually go keep falling or something like that. I know I see
It does
the
actually.
the man, and there's something about our ex-president. It's calm, it's cute, and I think I don't know. I just love him.
Princess always really cute. He's always really cute. No, Buhari is a good man.
He's a good man.
It's just that he got this. The man wanted to learn. You understand? And unfortunately, Nigeria is not ready for that. You understand? Nigeria need more strong hand to run. The man doesn't know most of the things that were happening around him, which we can understand. But they will come now with this new Baba. And Baba know too much.
No, I think this Baba, you can't compare this one to that one. That one is a quiet Baba. This one is a street Baba or Jagaban. You can't
Jagaban. The local trained accountant.
And they tell you.
In fact,
First graduate of CSU.
Don't forget that the other day, Uncle Luther said, "Don't go there. Let's not go there, Kenneth, today again." I'm rounding up the show, so maybe tomorrow we'll do this. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you, Kenneth and Mary, all the way from Abuja.
It's always a pleasure to be on this. Very
Yes.
nice.
I like the name of this guy Ed that is how we go.
Yes, yes, that's the name.
You understand? But they say I like Ed Dogo, but I like it say Ed Dago. You understand?
It's the same thing as Dago. It's a day of happiness.
Yes.
Yes, I Dago to OAP personality. Thank you so much, sir, for being on the show today. We appreciate your time. We'd love to have you again next time.
Hopefully next week we'll join you again. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. Okay, viewers, it's been a fun ride for me. Yes, time well spent, but we have to draw the curtain here today. And of course, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. Follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Of course, subscribe to our page and leave us with your comments. We love to hear from you. And don't forget our Srtv packages. We have the travel talks, we book your tickets, and of course, we do rentals, we cover your events, and of course, you can appear in a magazine for as low as 30K to showcase your brand, your businesses, and your products as well. And we have our production outlets. It's amazing. It's quite, I just need you to be there to see it. It's beautiful. You just need to walk in with your crew and you start shooting. Everything is set for your use. We do this again tomorrow. Once again, congratulations to our winners from the elections held in Nigeria over the weekend. And of course, now we can allow them to work. Carry the people well. No carry them go where we don't know.
In fact, the truth is, okay, if you force us, now we don't have power enough. You have us. You understand? Now marry us. It's like you force a woman. She's not your wife. I did not take care of her. You understand? You got the state. Please take care of the state now.
State.
You understand? That is the most important.
All distractions should be left aside.
Yes.
And of course, while you are out there, I hear that there is no fuel, no money, ATM, and all this person cash, and we're running dry. But regardless, remember that peace is priceless. And let's us always give peace a chance. Don't drink and drive and obey the traffic laws. We saw that last month was chasing some people. Imagine these people sweeping, these cleaners in Lagos, and this guy just ran into them. Now we've lost those two women. These are mothers, these are wives, the sisters, grandmothers. So please be careful while you're at this. Safeguard yourself and the lives of others as well. We'll see you again on the show tomorrow.
Are you a filmmaker in Abuja and its environ? Do you need a place for your music video, or you need a venue for your conference, and even an editing suite for your post-production? Look no further. Our beautiful terrace in Lokugoma has it all. We have a whole floor that consists of 3-angle lounge, a beautiful dining area, a large kitchen, a conference area that can comfortably accommodate 60 persons, and 5-bedroom adaptable for all kinds of shoots. The good news is all is available at affordable price. And you know what? If you are a member of the Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, you have 20% discount. So, what are you waiting for? Hurry and contact us on the numbers on your screen now. Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30, smart, bold, and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets.